Welcome back to Don't Quote Us Sports, folks. Welcome to everybody listening online, everybody watching on YouTube, the TikToks, the whole nine. You'll notice something a little different about today. We've got a different co-host up here. Our regularly scheduled co-host, Isaiah, traveled to the nation's capital of D.C., allegedly to see a Janis Joplin-themed burlesque show and find some corn dogs. That's what he told me. It could be the Nebraska game that he attended to, but I think it might have been the burlesque show, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, we found some guests along the way, some homeless men out in the roadway that just seem to have their finger on the pulse of this thing. But what I want to do is welcome back our NHL correspondent and all things sports, Mr. Chris Busby. Bus, welcome back, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, the tickets were a little steep for the burlesque show. Otherwise, I would have been there with Isaiah. So I'm glad I was option 1B, but happy to be back.
No, we're thrilled to have you. I know that I requested photos from said burlesque show, received none. So I'm really questioning the motives of this trip. It might have just been for this Nebraska-Maryland game thing.
I think that is a good sign of a classy joint. You know, put the phones away, truly enjoy the show. If I know you know Isaiah a little bit better than me, but if I was a betting man, he was going to get kicked out anyway. So he probably just watched the Nebraska game in like a Starbucks on his phone after he got kicked out of the burlesque show. So love to hear about his travels when he returns.
Yeah, and we appreciate the hell out of you for filling in.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk a little sport here, and I know you're our NHL guy, but you're a fan of other sports, and I can't help but notice. Are we wearing like a 1988 Brewers jersey there? Which
yeah, it's a medium, I think.
Oh,
but this is Ricky Weeks, a la my high school years. This is all I really have. I am not a baseball fan, but I'm a fan of the city of Milwaukee. So, cheering on the boys. Game 1 tonight against the Dodgers for whenever you're listening to this.
Which, forgive me if I'm wrong, you're attending.
Oh, I wish. As the DH, maybe.
Oh,
I mean,
gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to the game.
Oh no, I wish. I maybe game 2 or 5, but hopefully we don't have to get to 5. But no, I was gonna go to the game on Saturday for game 5. Tickets were just a little bit too pricey, even in Milwaukee. It was standing room only, but it looked like a hell of an atmosphere. But quick tangent: Mumford and Sons was playing in Milwaukee, and I don't know if you saw the clip when they took over the arena at Pfizer for cheering for the Brewers. That was pretty sick. So, but no, big fan of the team. Christian Yelich has just been in kind of like a rut for a long time, really successful, and then just amounts to nothing. So want to see him and this young crew take it to the house, but we'll see.
So while I'll say this feels like a personal attack because you guys beat my team, the Cubs, little Cubs cup in the back there, folks. I won't take it too personal. All right.
It's not about you. It's not at you. I live behind enemy lines as a Wisconsin-born man in the great city of Chicago, and I deal with the fandom that comes with Chicago. Chicago is a better place when teams are doing well. So I always cheer for Chicago teams for the sake of my friends' feelings. But if it comes down to my team, no. I will always root for my team. Doesn't matter if Chicago lives in the gutter.
Whoa, easy now. Easy now.
What did I say? What did I say?
But, okay, well, seeing as you're wearing the Brewers and whether you're an expert in the field or not, what's your prediction for this series?
I think Shohei is going to show us his cornhole. I don't know. I hope that tonight the Brewers need to make a statement win. If they lose tonight, I am not feeling good about the series. If we can't get 2 at home, I think it's over. If we can get 1 at home, it'll be fun. I don't know. When I was hearing the total salary of the Brewers, and this is all rough estimates, being like in the $130 million range, and then the taxes that the Dodgers pay on their salaries like $170 million. I'm just like, oh, oh,
Wow.
oh. I'm like, dodged it. I'm like, yeah, we're not paying those types of taxes, but I don't know. If this is a Rudy situation, I'll be the happiest guy. But it's even though we have home field advantage, I don't think it's going to be an easy series at all.
I don't know if you know this about me. The Dodgers are the second most disliked team for me in all of baseball, being a Cubs fan. Um,
Okay.
Only beaten by the St. Louis Cardinals, which I think the city of St. Louis, I'll say this here and now, I think it's a dumpster fire of a city. I think it's a third world country in and of its own. I think their professional sports
Oh
teams
no!
are a joke. And I'll be honest with you, Anheuser-Busch is your only claim to fame, and they make very average beer.
Stop it! He's already dead. But wasn't my St. Louis Blues dark horse? They got cool jerseys now.
Yeah, I kept my
I
mouth
can't.
shut when you said that, but boy, do hockey's a little different. The Blues are number 2, the Red Wings are number 1 for me.
Okay. Yeah. No. Every time I go to St. Louis, I think something bad happens to me. But
I mean,
the jerseys are pretty cool.
I think in order to go to St. Louis, you have to extract, like a Horcrux, extract a piece of your soul and leave it in that city. Like, that's just the tax of being there. The gateway to the Midwest, try the gateway to hell. Welcome to St. Louis.
Yeah. But the toasted Ravs.
Well, I mean, listen.
Toasted Ravs are pretty nice, but
I get it.
it's an adopted cousin of a ravioli, right? Like the ravioli wouldn't exist, or the toasted rav wouldn't exist without the ravioli. So yeah, I don't know.
The chicken
I
did, in
still
fact,
think
come
St.
before
Louis
the
would be
egg.
fun.
That's all I know.
Pause. There you go.
All right. So you're hopefully optimistic, but very hesitant on these Brewers. Got it. Locked in.
Yeah, the bullpen. It was like I don't watch a ton of baseball. Hand up, fair like not a fair weather fan, but like success. Depending on the team's success, I'm watching or I'm not watching. And like they were doing pitching changes like every I don't know 12 pitches, and I'm like, holy smokes! I'm like for all the benefit the pitch clock gave to the game to speed it up. I'm like, man, we're making this thing go long for 8 p.m. starts. I'm like making a man hurt. But no, I hope they can go in hyperbaric chambers, and I don't know whatever they did to Han Solo or Austin Powers. Maybe do that for 24 hours, freeze them, unfreeze them, see if that does anything to the shoulders, injuries, fatigue. Like, try anything at this point, because damn, we need to stop changing the pitchers so much. It's crazy.
And I think that's kind of been the theme of this offseason. Like, we're seeing a lot more pitchers used. So don't feel like the Brewers are alone in that. I think the Dodgers are probably alone in that because they have like 9 aces that can throw 12 innings deep. Like, it's insane. So I'm rooting for you guys. Please go beat the Dodgers. Go get them. Brew Crew, I'll give it to them. I was born in Milwaukee, raised in the suburbs of Chicago. So I'll stick with you. I'm a little salty about my Cubbies.
And both of our dads went to MSOE.
Hey, shout out to MSOE, baby.
Go support the small market teams. Go Brew Crew.
I don't even know what MSOE's mascot is, to be honest. Are they the Raiders? I think it's the Raiders, right?
I think it's our dads. No, I think it's a Raider because there's a big pirate ship in their hockey rink, and it was really cool to play there growing up.
You know what? That makes a lot more sense. We're going to get to sports, I promise you. But so my dad played basketball at MSOE, right? And they had a team photo. This thing hung in our laundry room for the entirety of my childhood. But it was a theme. It wasn't like your standard team photo. They did like a theme where they dressed up and recreated a scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Indiana Jones.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my dad and his buddy are both holding the Ark shirtless with turbans on their head. Would not play well in the year 2025.
Go, Mr. Herb. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. I wonder, listen, next time I'm at my parents' place, I'm going to snap a photo of that and get it to you because I think you're deserving. I think the eyes need to lay upon that.
Yeah, no, I would love to see that. And we should have done that when we played college football together as an offensive line. So what could have been, but what we still can do, still on the table.
I don't know if we're in better shape or worse shape. I guess we're going to find out.
We're in a shape. That's all we need to know. And I think that we can be more creative. Time's gone by, and we can use a bunch of different material for ideas.
You were thinking Charlie's Angels, or?
More Coyote ugly, but yeah, you can talk me into it.
We're in the ballpark. I like that. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Where are you at with college football? You seem pretty locked in on college ball these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, especially with baseball, hockey, NFL, and college football. So I just kind of look at the ranked games. I'm not doing any like deep Pacific Standard Time games late at night. But no, feel pretty well acclimated with the topic. So ready to talk some college football.
So there's been coaching moves that have happened in a hurry, and we'll speak with that. We've got another guest coming on a little later about the big oh oh
Switching sports,
oh. This is a burlesque show. We're
switching
stripping
shirts.
layers. Look out now.
Yes. Yep.
Woo-wee, look at that.
Already feels better.
Looks great. Who's 77?
Busby.
Is it?
I got this in 8th grade. It's a custom.
Fuck yeah.
Still the
that's
same
awesome.
size.
That is awesome.
Yep.
So
It's got a brat and a beer stain on the stomach.
as it should. It's a Green Bay Packer jersey. I thought those came
don't smell
pre-stained
it.
for you.
The whites do. The greens don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You
Gotcha.
gotta do it on your own for the
You
green.
get what you pay for, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Not an all white JJ jersey for Minnesota by all means, by any means.
it's tough.
Frame it, Isaiah.
There it is. Hey, you're not here to defend it. We're going to talk shit on it. But there's been a lot of coaching moves already. 3-4 coaches have lost their jobs over the last couple of days. But there's a coach out there in your home state that is holding on to a job for dear life. And I'm actually surprised that he wasn't the first one caught. Of course, the man I'm talking about is Luke Fickell, the head coach for the University of Wisconsin Badgers, who went through I can't even call it heartbreaking, gut wrench. It's bad, flat out bad. 37-0 shutout against Iowa this weekend. Now, I understand you're not necessarily a Badger fan, but being a Wisconsinite, you grow up watching them. I'm sure you had buddies that played for him or tried to go play for him, went to the university. What is going on in Madison?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say sports radio, newspapers, TV media. I mean, they're coming for his head a little bit. Pitchforks. I'm getting texts from my mom, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, friends from high school. Everyone's talking about it. And it's just like, what's going on? Why haven't we addressed this? I feel like whenever the community is like totally given up, I feel like the university is probably 2 steps ahead, maybe working in silence. So by the time this is published, he may be gone. Who knows? But like, yeah, I don't understand the hesitancy to just nip it in the bud, right? Like I don't know if they can get any lower. The brand of football that the Wisconsin people want hasn't really been a thing for kind of the last couple of years. Like, even though they've had some like fleeting success over maybe the last 5, it just hasn't been the same. I don't know if that's just because football's changing overall. The Big Ten is obviously scrambled. You're getting a West Coast influence, spread style offense. Running with a fullback is like that a thing anymore. Someone in the NFL got, I think maybe the Chargers threw it to a fullback. That was cool to see.
Yeah, big 42.
But
big 42.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just the way that Wisconsin football was built for decades is starting to die. So it's like, do you triple down on the way that we used to win? Do you fully lean into the way football is played now? I don't know, but I think they need to have a facelift. And honestly, I don't think a new coach should come from inside. I think they need to strip the wallpaper off, tear out the carpet, do a full remodel of what they have going on. So long story short, I have no idea, but the bells have been ringing for weeks and no one's answering. So I don't know what's going on.
I think it's so tough because Luke Fickell was such a hire for you guys. I shouldn't say you guys, for Wisconsin. It was such a hire for Wisconsin. He was a guy that had interimed at Ohio State, had some success. He had been at, was it Mac school? God, why can't – Cincinnati before that. Excuse me. Cincinnati before Wisconsin as a head coach and did really, really well. And so the expectations were huge. I agree that the days of from Ron Dane to Monty Ball to James White to Melvin Gordon, like those days are fleeting.
Jonathan Taylor,
Johnny T.
Where are we at?
My question then is like, We saw Georgia Tech held on to the triple option, the wing T triple option, for a long time into modern football. The service academies are still running it pretty regularly. I think there's a place for the I formation Big Ten football. It's just, I think it's got to get more creative. I think it has to evolve. But I do think, as a fan of the Big Ten Conference, I want to see Wisconsin rush for 5,000 yards on the season. Like, I want to see crazy shit like that. Is that something that, like, Wisconsinites are like, yeah, we want that? Or is it, fuck it, throw it all out, bring in a West Coast guy, let's run 5 wide?
Call me a man of heritage. I like the former. I like the former for any football team, right? But I think Wisconsin, again, I feel like the Big Ten overall has just changed so much. And it's like, well, you want to change with the times, but you have to now make a D coordinator who's probably seeing a spread RPO offense, how 90% of their schedule. Now they have to accommodate to a different offense, right? Like, I think that would be a fun challenge to throw at teams. And again, to your point, you do have to be more creative. You can't just run power. You can't and run it in the box all the time, right? But I think defenses are getting a little bit lighter and faster, more athletic. The game's just kind of going that direction. You get me a juiced up 5'11", Mike Allstott-esque fullback who's just like teaching DNs and outside linebackers, inside linebackers, who cares? We're running power I. Teaching people a lesson. I don't know. There's not a Wisconsinite that I know who wouldn't love to see that. So I'm going to speak for the state. Let's go power I.
Hell yeah.
Let's just go crazy.
Hey, here's the evolution of the power I. You line up single back in the pistol. Your fullback's the number 2 in the slot, and we're going to motion them in to the fullback slot, and then we're running power right at them. Let's get a big 5'11", 280-pounder moving. Okay, let's get him on a motion.
Yeah. Fuck him.
I love it.
Let's do it. So I will say, though, I know you and I have a long history with the pistol, but I don't know if I like it. I want the running back 16 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I want that guy to have a full steam ahead approach. That's how powerful I want this thing to be. 4 tight ends. I know I'm getting a little bit crazy, but that's what I want to see. When you said Ron Dane, that's all I could think about. It's just like, you think you're running a goal line play at your own 30, and then you get it, a run for 11 yards, and everyone's just going bananas. And I think they serve beer now at Camp Randall. So come on, run the damn ball. People get lit up.
I can't
sorry.
imagine a Camp Randall crowd at night playing Minnesota, juiced up on Milwaukee's finest Miller Lite.
Oh, yeah. No, the coach buses outside for that shuttle to the 414 would be a plenty.
Yeah.
It would be a plenty. Yes.
So we've talked where we think they should be heading, but we haven't mentioned the name of who should be leading that charge. I've got a few names that I kind of want to throw around a little bit, but is there a name that jumps to mind immediate for you of like, that's the Wisconsin coach?
For all the faithful listeners that heard me last time, I have a realistic one and a very big dark horse. So the first one that comes to mind with the portal and how, ranked teams have just totally scrambled over. If you saw this list of ranked teams in 2022 or earlier, you'd be like, hell froze over. But I do think a Big 12 school gives someone the platform to play the Ohio States and the Oregons of the world, and was in the backyard living in Des Moines for so long. Give Matt Campbell, Iowa State. Maybe he wants to try something out in the Big Ten. I don't know, but who's to say? Who's to say?
All right, Matt Campbell. I like that. I like Matt Campbell for some different jobs that are open right now, but I like the mentality. Matt Campbell feels like a lunch pail kind of guy. And I think
think about it. He's got deep recruiting roots in the Midwest. Keep those boys happy that you're already got on the phone. Maybe you'd have more of a pull with Wisconsin. Maybe not, but he doesn't have to redo a whole lot. It's not a long drive. Move the family.
Okay. So let me throw a couple names at you. All right. And Just give me yay, nay, what you think. First one's a guy who was at the last school for a long time. Don't even know if he's going to be coaching, but it's an option, and it would be a complete shift from what we're saying of a dynamic power eye to a full blown air raid, and that is Mr.
Mm.
Mullet himself, Mike Gundy.
Like Gundy. I'm not being hypercritical of you, but I would just be a hypocrite if I said yay, so I'm going to say nay. Airing it out, I'm not going to say that it wouldn't work, but it's just not my style. So yes, there is 100% merit there, but for me, I don't know if that would work for me.
Okay. Here's an interesting one that some names are being thrown around. It would be a little bit of a risk for you guys because he doesn't
Oh boy.
have a head coaching experience. That's Brian Hartline, who's been basically the understudy at Ohio State for forever, coached a lot of great receivers, has a hand in the passing game, a hand in the offensive coordinating. I think if you're going to be willing to roll the dice on somebody, that might be an option. Very Jim Leonard-esque, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like that one better than Gundy. Just because I don't know, man. I'm on the fence. Because it's like after Fickell, who, to your point, was like that was a big hire, right? Like everyone was super excited. Like, do you go with a more, and I'm not saying Heartline's a muted name, but it's like, is that going to make the fans happy? Is that going to make a change in the locker room for those freshmen who have the portal now? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I would take him over Gundy. I'd take him over Gundy. I lost you, I think.
Yep.
There you go.
So here's one that while there's head coaching experience there, it's just not quite on the level. And we've seen Wisconsin think about making moves like this before. But Tom Polasek at North Dakota State.
Do it.
I mean, I tell you what, man, they throw the ball quite a bit, but they run the ball well. They're a Midwest roots team. I think a guy like that could work at Wisconsin.
Yeah. When my brother-in-law is playing high school football right now, and he's got a couple big dogs on his team, and I always just kind of check in with him, like if he wants to play college football somewhere, where the recruiting's going in the same metro area that I grew up playing in. And they have a few big boys who got early offers from NDSU, who then got offers at Ole Miss, and then I can't remember the other one, but it was in the Southeast. And both of them are staying at NDSU. So what they have going on from a coaching staff, recruiting standpoint, like it's clearly working. I think it would fit the model for Power Eye. Not that they would fully adapt that. But yeah, just get some big dogs. Just get some big dogs. And you can trust the transfer portal. You know, someone who's going to get shafted in the depth chart due to an injury or something like that, you could still fill in the cracks. I like that one the best out of the three.
Okay, all right. So that's where Wisconsin is at. I really like NDSU, their head coach. I think that could be what that program needs to turn it around. I don't know that he's going to be the most successful and go win you a Big Ten title, but I think he could right that ship and get it back going the right direction.
I think that Wisconsin's just hungry for a win. So if Barry Alvarez can come back for a little bit, who knows? Let's see.
Hey, he's done it before. Why
I
wouldn't
mean,
he do it again?
who's to say? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing these days. He won't return my calls. Still waiting on that tryout from the Blackhawks, but Barry's 1B. Would love to get a phone call back. We'll see.
And we should say that Luke Fickell has not yet lost his job.
No, good job, Luke. You're holding on for your damn life. You got the what's that presidential trophy in gym class because you can climb a rope like the best of them, man. You're holding on as hard as you possibly can right now. But no, seriously, if his address goes public or his cell phone number goes public, he's gonna be in some trouble.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Again, I think he is a quality coach. I think he just has not been able to figure it out. Like I think he's a good guy. I think he's a decent leader. It's just sometimes it doesn't work out. You know.
Yeah, ebbs and flows. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, right? Like Bielema had his ups and downs. Lovie Smith had his ups and downs. Like it's just program, timing, where you're at with your philosophy. He could have a great career. Just not right now.
Yep, and not at
Get the hell
Wisconsin,
out
I
of here.
think. So
Yeah.
let's.
But no, my dark horse though,
Oh,
real
yes,
quick,
please.
throw the damn bag at Saban. Who cares? Increase taxes in Wisconsin. Everyone's talking about he's got more left in the tank. Like, why not? Like, if you think about his offense from like '07 to 13, was it?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, his name's escaping me. The quarterback, AJ, his
McCarron.
his girlfriend, AJ McCarron. Run that damn offense. Just get absolute horses in the backfield and then get Willie Mammoths on the line. Just do it. Throw the bag at him. See what he says. If anything, it's a cool headline for people to get excited about.
And I'll
But
tell you what, Mequon, Wisconsin isn't known for much other than building big old boys that love to go play for the Badgers.
and Tom Segura.
Well, is he from Mequon?
He played high school football for the Homesteaders.
Oh, no. Why did I think he was from Neenah? Because Neenah is where they make all the manhole covers, right?
That is true. And I've recently met someone who claims that his father, he's an older gentleman. His father has the patent on manholes. But I don't know, maybe you're thinking of Stephen Avery.
Ooh, that's a pull. From Neenah?
From Manitowoc. Making a murder. He'd be a good
Oh,
Madison
no.
coach too. Yeah.
You guys also claim John Wayne Gacy. You're batting 1,000 up there.
Oh, don't forget Jeffrey.
Listen, I think we'd all like to forget Jeffrey.
And Ed Gein. Put all those guys on the coaching staff. Got a bunch of killers on the field. Yeah.
Was Ed Gein from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
I haven't watched a minute of that.
It's I can't remember the gentleman's name who was in Sons of Anarchy, but he's pretty incredible. He's creeped me out every episode. But no. Yeah, lots of killers. Lots of killers.
Jesus. But sticking in the college football world and not trying to throw too much at you, but we haven't had a chance. We haven't had a chance to get your take on the season as a whole and where it's heading. So what I'd like to hear from you is, we're 6-7 weeks in. You're welcome for that TikTok. We're 6-7 games in. Who are your two going to the national championship here?
I don't like this answer I have for you.
Okay.
But based on like Miami and Ohio State, if you look at their schedules, they have no ranked opponents, if I did my research correctly. So like you just sustain injuries, do clock management, get rotation of players if you run up the score against your opponents. Like it's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose to not make the championship, in my opinion. So it's like, for how crazy the rankings have been, I don't think there's anything too exciting or like anything that's going to stop those two from being there, which kind of sucks. I would have loved, and I have a dark horse, but I would have loved to see some interesting teams. Get some New Jerseys in there.
Okay.
Get some new fan bases, small fan bases that can't even pack the place. Why not?
We brought 2 buses of people. Is that enough?
Yeah, right. Like, is that too much? We can bring less. Okay, we're just happy to be here right now. I haven't gotten this far before. Okay,
I don't know what I'm supposed
I really
to
want
do.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a shout out to Memphis there, huh? Oof.
Yeah.
Imagine the crew that Memphis would be taking to the national playoffs.
Who do you think's got? Well, I don't want to give up too much. I almost just did.
Okay,
I'm not gonna do that.
okay.
But yeah,
You mentioned a dark horse then. Now, is this a dark horse that could win the whole thing, or is this a dark horse like, hey, they're going to make a playoff run and be a fun team to watch?
Oh, do I be bold? If I'm being realistic, the latter, playoff run. But like, I mean, you already brought him up. Georgia Tech would be so fun to watch. Like, all I could think about is Nick Cannon and Drumline.
That's
just
North
like
Carolina that's A&T.
Right, but I'm just saying, like small Georgia school, like all the drum competitions. I'm pretty sure Georgia Tech was in the competition. Petey Pablo, North Carolina. Yeah, that's all I could think of is like one band, one sound. Screw the halftime show. Just do a drumline competition. If you were to get 2 ACC schools, let's say it was Georgia Tech and Miami, it probably wouldn't be Ohio State. It would probably be Georgia Tech. But Georgia Tech, I think, has a pretty okay schedule to kind of wrap up the year, but then they end with Georgia. So if Georgia runs the table, is still in the top 10, and Georgia Tech can beat them, I think it'd be really interesting to see where they fall. But going back to the Power I for the Badgers, it's like, can these smaller markets with like different offenses, like I don't know. It's just it kind of shakes everything up, and I think everyone was really sick of Alabama, but now we're kind of sick of like, why can't the small school get in with the transfer portal? Like it will probably happen in the next couple of years, but yeah, my dark horse, Georgia Tech. Who's to say who's voting for him in the ranking? But that's my dark
I
horse.
tell you what, Isaiah would be thrilled that you said that if he were here because he's buying on Georgia Tech. Are you as big a
Mhm.
fan of Haynes King, the quarterback, as Isaiah is?
Probably not. Isaiah is one of the most confusing people to make happy in this world, so I'm glad I found one way I can make him happy. But no, I just think it's fun to, again, I already took the jersey off. I'm not putting it back on. Cheer for the smaller markets. Like, who's cheering for Georgia Tech besides Milan? Calvin Johnson? Like, at whatever car dealership he may be working at now? I have no
Oh,
idea.
don't do that
But,
to a
like,
Hall of
what did I
Famer.
say? What did I say? He can push cars if he wants, so he can do whatever he wants. But I don't know. I just think I'm not like a diehard. I'm not a fanboy. It's just cool to see someone kind of shake it up, and Georgia Tech's that for me this year.
Yeah, I think it's if you're a college football fan, it's hard to be a Georgia Tech hater at this point. The old
Yeah.
the old rambling wreck.
Yeah. No, I brought my Bumblebee hat out for him. I was gonna do one last wardrobe change, but yeah, little bees.
Oh,
Little
you like
bees.
jazz?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me some Blueberry Hill.
Okay, so it's Miami and it's I apologize,
Oh,
Miami and Ohio State. Is that who said we're running the table? Georgia,
Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville. Hey, go Cox.
Good kicker.
Then let me ask you this, okay? Because and shifting gears to an award, this feels like the most unclear, blurry, no one has a clue Heisman race this year. Where are
Mhm.
you at if you were a Heisman voter? And you don't necessarily have to give me one. Give me who you're looking at, maybe top three of them.
I would say Carson Beck. I don't like that answer, but again, it's just like it's Florida. He changed schools. They, they're undefeated, right? Like depending on how they do the rest of the year. But I will say I did watch the Indiana Oregon game. So Fernando Mendoza, I think Isaiah's high on him too if I'm
Yep.
if I'm up on all my episodes. Again, shake it up. Get some new schools in there. Like if sometimes you feel like the Big Ten is dead, and sometimes you feel it's more alive than ever because now we got Oregon and it's just been reshuffled all along. If you give the Heisman to Indiana, Lord have mercy. That Big Ten's recruiting. I mean, it's already kind of sucking up what the SEC once had. Just again, transfer portal, team success. I don't know. Give it to Mr. Mendoza. That's where my head's at. What about you? Where's your top three?
Mendoza has moved way up for me in a big way. I still think Dante Moore, over the entire body of work through the season, will end up better and absolutely winning it. And then I'll give you a dark horse. I don't know if you've heard this, the viewers have. Justice Haynes from Michigan, and this is my homer pick, but the kid is electric. He hits the hole harder than anyone I've ever seen. Pause. Um, and once he gets there, he just explodes. So pause. That's kind of my dark horse, but I'm very much in the Dante Moore camp right now. But mad respect to Fernando Mendoza, what he's doing. I don't think that's going to be the end all be all for Oregon, like quite a few people in the media seem to be playing it as.
Yeah, and I don't think their schedule is awful either.
No, it's gotten a lot easier
Um,
now that certain teams in the Big Ten are falling apart.
their name was Robert Paulson, Penn State. Yeah, no, it's yeah. No, I did you bet any futures on MVP
We on
or
Heisman
Heisman?
we didn't. We talked about him. I veered away from it, but I should have. We were pretty high on John Mateer from the jump till the injury.
Yeah, yeah.
He looked bad.
No, I for the listeners, I texted Herb last night about the Lions being plus 120, hammered it all $4, and I think I'm done for a while. I think I'm just gonna hide for a while. So no Heisman betting for me.
Let me throw. You know what? I'll leave that be. I have slowed my betting. The only bets I do are our parlays on Sundays for NFL. Our four leggers. If you're not following along, please do put those out every Sunday morning. I'd gone. I was thinking I was at like 4-8, and then this weekend we didn't get the post out, but I went 4 for 4.
Hey, okay.
And didn't put any money on it. Didn't put a dime on it.
Well, and now I'm really mad because all I'm thinking about with four leggers is that movie with the Siamese twins that play goalie. You should call it your Siamese twins bets. Four leggers.
Four leggers. So real quick, let me tell you about this, right? Okay. Here it was. I had the Bengals plus 14.5. That hit. I had the Lions Chiefs under 52.5. That hit. I had Daniel Jones over 16.5 rushing yards. He had 20. And I had a Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown.
That was a good touchdown too. I feel like I'm muddying the waters here. We're talking about too many things, but Daniel Jones, I'm unfortunately on 5 fantasy football leagues. I've picked him up for 3 just for continuity. Damn, me like you to DJ.
Mm-hmm. I was a hater.
DJ.
I apologize to him early in this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, no, congrats to you on your Siamese twins bets.
Hey, thank you.
That was a good one.
But hey, seeing as we're talking about NFL, can I hit you with a couple overreactions real quick? And you hit me with I'm overreacting. I'm selling too quick, or yeah, that's right on par. You ready for this? I'm gonna give you 3. All right. In the NFL, the Denver Broncos may be building a generational defense. And what I'm talking about is the Steelers, the Ravens, the Patriots, those dynasty level defenses. I think they might be doing it. They had 9 sacks against the Jets this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm buying that stock. Their game in London, wasn't terribly entertaining, but from a defensive standpoint, yeah, no, they look legit. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do against the Chiefs. I would not, for my Packers, if we were to make it to the Super Bowl this year, please, baby Jesus, get us there. I'd rather play almost anyone else in the AFC besides the Bills than Denver. It would not be a fun game.
Yeah. And I tell you what,
it'd just be irritating.
They've only given up 6 touchdowns this year and somehow managed to get Justin Fields to go 9 for 17 with negative 10 passing yards this past week.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. If you're playing defense there, you did your job.
Pretty good
Stuff.
Pretty good. No, and then I'm trying to even think of the game Sunday night. Troy Aikman was so high. I can't even remember. He's been bothering me lately on the broadcast. He was so high in Denver, and I can't remember who they played, but those are the 2 games I watched cover to cover for the Broncos, and I was like, "Yep, no, they're figured it out. They are." If Bo Nix can get it together, I right now I think they're mildly dangerous. But if you want to put them on like your local radar for like predators and like they are close by list. Bo Nix figures it out. They're on that list. Watch out.
They're within 300 yards of a school. All right.
Yeah. No, your phone's ringing. This person's close to you. If that's the Denver Broncos.
All right. Switching to New York City. Okay. And this is good. There's some news that just dropped about 30 minutes before you and I jumped on here.
Oh,
that
no.
will pertain here. But the take is that Aaron Glenn does not have the hottest seat in the NFL.
Agreed. I actually love Aaron Glenn. When he was doing his like dance in I think it's Tampa, down the sideline. And I think they got the blocked field goal, took it took it for a
Yep.
touchdown, maybe, if I remember correctly. I'm like, that's a coach you can get behind. I think he's going to be fun. I just think, like, right now, the Jets are still rebuilding. I know Fields was supposed to solve some problems, and, like, I don't think Sauce Gardner's had a terribly great, year so far. I don't think he's in the hottest seat. I think they got to see this one through. I don't see him leaving this year.
And I think that ended
What
up
was the what
being
was the news 30 minutes ago?
so. That's while I don't agree that Aaron Glenn has the hottest seat, I thought Brian Callahan of the Titans did, and that was
Yeah, okay.
30 minutes ago when they fired him.
Okay. I did see that. Okay. I was like, what happened with the Jets? I'm like,
No,
did they sign Connor McDavid?
no, they it needed to happen. I always thought Callahan's job was at risk since the day he was hired, really. So I think Aaron Glenn, while there were some issues in that game, specifically centered around Garrett Wilson and that little temper tantrum he had on the field and the mismanagement, I think those are things you can work through and fix. I think he's going to do a better job bringing in some different guys with head coaching experience onto the staff. I think it's going to help them out even more because I think he's a great coach. I just don't know that he knows the ins and outs of being the head guy. But then again, I don't know the guy.
Well, I mean, I think for the longevity, like obviously it's an old boys club it's even worse in the NHL, but in the NFL, it's kind of an old boys club. Anyone who had, mediocre success or great success as a head coach and then things tapered off, they fill in somewhere as a coordinator. I think people will look back and look at the 2024 Lions coaching staff as like a generational wave with, Ben Johnson, Glenn, and then even Cordell. Oh my gosh, his name is escaping me, but he's on the Lions staff. He was the kick returner for the Vikings in Atlanta.
Patterson?
Anyways, yeah. I think that like all these coaches are going to have good careers. I just think, to your point, yeah, more pieces around Aaron Glenn, but yeah, just give him time. Give him time. He'll be fine.
Okay. And now let's go to your namesake here. The jersey on the chest. We're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers real quick. You're not going to like this take, I think.
I'm more agreeable than you would think for my own teams. If you talk smack on my own teams, I'll probably be like, yeah, probably. But no, give me your worst, not a bratwurst.
Cheddar worst, maybe.
Hawks. Yes.
Josh Jacobs is the singular face to the Green Bay Packers. He is the star of the team. He is what makes that team's heartbeat.
On offense, sure, but I think as a team, it's our defense. Like you can't like argue with his production. I will say he's been irritating me lately, but then again, I can't get mad at the guy because he's got good stats, and he's a good human being from all the interviews and all the stuff he does in the community. Like maybe you could call him the face because he's just out and about all the time. But he gets so slow at the line of scrimmage sometimes, and it's like, ugh. Like you see a Jahmyr Gibbs running like David Montgomery sometimes because he's watching him and he's watching the gaps and he's taking that extra step and then he'll go. With Josh Jacobs, I just feel like he's really chop. Like it's just go, homie. Just do it. Just go. It's bothering me a little bit. So no, I would say the face of the team right now is the defense. Nixon has been pissing me off for years, it feels like, but like he's showing up lately. So I mean, that was my biggest concern is the secondary, and I feel like they're doing okay. They let up a good chunk of change to Jamar Chase last night or yesterday afternoon, but I'll take it. Defense is the face.
Okay. So what my kind of point was that very much the quarterback is usually the face. And I think the Packers have tried to make Jordan Love the face of this thing. And here's the deeper take, the hotter take within the hot take, is that the Packers are limited by Jordan Love's ability. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but it feels like there's another step here that the Packers can take, but they're being held back in a way by Jordan Love. Is there any validity to that, or is it just me being a hater at heart?
Yeah, I think there's some validity to it. I mean, like, I don't think he's bad. I And then it's always so interesting to hear Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have a special place in hell. And God forbid the day they call our game. But like even for years, like they're really hypercritical of him. Like he leaves the pocket too soon. And it's just like, well, that's always easy when someone gets sacked. Or it's like, he stays in the pocket too long if they're not a mobile QB or whatever. And it's just like, pick or choose. Is he going to be mobile or is he going to be a pocket quarterback? I feel like he's becoming a pocket quarterback, which is cool for protection when we can protect. When we can't, though, I want to see him go. I think it was like week 2. He laid the shoulder on the far right sideline. I'm like, that's my guy. I want that guy every week. But no, I think right now there's just been like he's good, but he's not good. But we're winning. But what happened in Dallas? Like, I don't know. It's just frustrating. But I do love what him and Golden are doing together. I've loved what him and Kraft have done for the last few years. So like there's hope. I just don't know what the disconnect is. Like too many punts. Just I don't know. Again, can't complain, but like I don't go to bed at night with no concerns. So I think there's some validity to your take.
And my concern, growing up watching the Packers, not being a Packer fan, but being surrounded by them, was that this feels like the expectation is an NFC championship, and I think as it should be, deservedly so. But it's either the head coach or the quarterback, because this thing's going to come to a head if we're not getting to those expectations. Something's got to give, and there's going to be a critical mass in a few years of, is it Love or is it LaFleur? That's my big concern for Green Bay right now.
I do like them both.
I know, and I think they're both. I think they're both very, very good at what they do. So I'm not trying to just sit here and shit on the Packers, but I would like to see more out of specifically Jordan Love.
Yeah, no, I would too. He's got the potential for the long ball, but like there's something satisfying about like the sweet spot from like 12 to 20 yards that he can hit to. It's like, what do you want first? Like we can't have it all right away. What's the next thing he can do? I think if we could just really tighten up the protection and focus on those 12, 20 yards, I'd be happy. And then as Golden, Dobbs can, be threats on the deep ball, maybe later in the season we'll get there.
And maybe Jaden Reed will be back.
Yeah, I would also be curious how much we're paying the stable. I'm not exactly like concerned about Christian Watson coming back. They keep saying how fast he is on the sideline. I'm like, after a knee injury, you're a little slower. He's the oldest of the batch. I like where we're at. I think it's more of an offensive line and Jordan Love thing to fix. Don't rush Watson in with what we have going.
All right.
But
Green Bay
cool sunglasses.
Super Bowl bound, some say.
Some say.
All right. And
Sensei Ira just gave me my purple belt.
Break the wrist, walk away. Let's deviate from football. And just real quick, go ahead. Let's get into the reason that Chris Busby. What is this one? What is this one? What do we got here? Absolutely,
Boston Bruins.
Look at that go, baby.
3-0, 3-0. Can you believe it? No one can. I barely can.
So let's just real brief, because hit me with. We've only been through what 3-4 games a team. Rough estimates here. Just hit me with like 2 of the big things you've noticed about this season so far. And we're crushing cans while doing it. Absolutely. I tell you what, folks, if your field correspondent for the NHL, ESPN, eat your heart out. If your field correspondent isn't crushing a little Coors Light while we're in the midst, okay, I don't want to hear it. We've got the experts in the field here, folks. This is sensational stuff. Mind you, it is
and these aren't
3 in the afternoon.
For anyone watching, these are game played gloves. We got a hole in here. A little dirty diaper action. We're good.
Game worn. He'll mail them to you for $59.99.
Yeah, even the thumb comes out.
Hey.
It's great. No, so for surprises, it's I think as an expert in the field who thinks Detroit's in the Western Conference, I just think it's too early to make any bold predictions, but I think we can celebrate some early successes, and that would be starting with the Boston Bruins. I understand. Don't come at me. I understand that 2 games were bottom feeder teams. I understand that. But we did beat Washington. in game one. So I'm going to take that one to the bank. Florida is doing Florida things, and they look good. But I think everyone always just has a little bit of rust. I think that a lot of playoff teams always are slow to start. Florida's not. No new news there. But yeah, from the bottom, there's no one's surprised to see who's at the bottom. I would say the Kings didn't have a hot start. They also played Vegas. And that was Vegas's one win. Vegas didn't look too sharp in their first couple games, but like I'm not concerned there. But no, outside of that, it's just too early. I think if you look at 15 games right around like Thanksgiving time, that's when we'll have a better idea of like where people stand. But no, there's been a couple, little highlights and nuggets for like little win streaks, but those long road trips that people are going to take earlier in the season, whoever got the unlucky draw, they're going to be a bottom feeder team for a while. The road trips suck at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, so I would say the West is a little bit slow to start. Florida and Boston, the Atlantic is hot.
So
looking forward to a lot of games, Florida versus Boston this year.
So, in your opinion, we understand it's early, right? So we're not saying, hey, stake your claim right now. But at what point in the season, around what month are we talking where we're going to get a real look at who's a contender and who's not?
Mid-January, because then you'll know who's like really fighting for the trade deadline. And I think those teams I feel like this happens every year in every sport. Whoever wins the President's Trophy, whoever gets the most wins in any sport, it's always like, did they burn their brightest already? Are they not going to do so well? So I would say like those bubble teams, for the teams who are like fighting for a wild card spot, air quotes around that, in January, keep your eyes on them. But yeah, the leaders in the past few years like have done very well, but mid-January. Hopefully no injuries. That'll be your tall tale sign to know who's going to potentially have a playoff run.
Okay. All right. So we'll be looking for that mid-January. Obviously, we're going to have you on a few times before that. But we'll be targeting that Thanksgiving for the next big-time update. Real quick, player-wise, because I think there's some dudes who have gone off already. Who do you love and who are you like, where did you go in the offseason?
What did you say at the end? I
said,
where did you go in the offseason?
Yeah, where did you go?
Oh, okay, gotcha. My apologies.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so I mean, Jack Eichel in Vegas is leading in points. I don't know if there's going to be any surprises here for the top. So like McKinnon, Kirill, Kaprizov, all in the top, but like Martin Necas in Colorado, again, he's playing with Nate. So like it's always really interesting to see when you look at Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, two premier athletes, right? Like they're crushing it. They don't necessarily have to play with one another to have a successful year. But then if you look at next to Sidney Crosby, next to Nathan McKinnon, these all-stars, those are the people who it's like, oh my God, they're having a great year. But it's like, who are they playing with, right? Credit where credit is due. I don't have 7 points in the NHL right now. Again, waiting for that phone call from the Blackhawks. But at the same time, yeah, the biggest surprise to me was Martin Necas coming over from Carolina last year. Very happy to see him fitting into the mold in Colorado. I'm not necessarily a Colorado fan or a hater, but at the same time, it's good to see the teams succeed early who have those off-season trades and acquisitions. So keep your eye out for Martin Necas. But Kyle Connor also has a few goals, and he got his extension, which is great. But also seeing a lot of defensemen hop up into the mix too. So as a defenseman myself, love to see when they can do a full sheet of ice, go up and down, and have some offensive production. Always happy to see that.
Hey, Duncan Keith was one of the best to ever do that, baby.
Chelios, where
Watch your mouth.
Credits.
Dude. Watch your mouth.
What do you mean? He played for Chicago.
I know he did.
Yeah, he played for Detroit when they were in the West.
Mm-hmm.
There's trivia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one's free.
And the last thing that I want to bring up, and this is for our NHL betting fans, okay? Am I just supposed to be hammering overlines this year? I mean, is that the idea? I should just be putting the mortgage on overs? Because so far, I mean, we've had some wild games. We've had the Blue Jackets and Wild were 7-4. The Leafs and Wings were 3-6. Senators and Lightning were 5-4. The Ducks and Sharks took a game to overtime that ended regulation at 6-6. Tell me how to make my millions on this over under in the NHL.
So it's tough. Like baseball with pitchers, you have goalies, right? I mean, they're not the same. Catcher's more like a goalie. But I would say watch the backup goalie rotations for sure. Maybe bet the over when you see those backups, especially if both are playing backups. But at the same time, like, yes, all of your stats you just said are 100% correct. But I played the over train the first 3 nights of the NHL, and I lost it on every single one. So I think there's always a trend at the beginning of the season. Either like the shooters aren't shooting or the goalies ain't blocking. Right now, I just think we're seeing a little bit of outliers. Overall, I think it was a really slow start in the first 2 days, and now we're heating up with the scoring. So I'm dancing around to ask the question. It depends. It really depends. Watch the backup goalies, and then I know it's not very nice, but if you look at the teams who are just starting a road trip, maybe put them on ice for a little bit. No pun intended there. But if you're looking at someone who's got a homestand for maybe 3-4 games and they're playing teams that are on the road, bet the house for them to win money line, but potentially the over as well, depending on the offense of the other team. So very long answer, but do just a tiny bit of research. ChatGPT is your best friend. Ask who's got their backup goaltender that night and who's on a road trip, and that will dictate a money line. And then also, if they're a high performing offense, if you should bet the over there.
Well, the way the Sharks are shooting, I think I'm betting over on Sharks team goals for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's again, like the Western Conference. And you be careful. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Say it. Don't quote us. Everything's free here.
Yeah, don't quote us for it. It's like the Pacific is just weird. Like if you're looking at the Ducks, if you're looking at the Sharks, and I hate to say this because I kind of like Philly. If you're looking at Philly, if you're looking at the whole Providence is going to kill me. Like Montreal, like these younger teams are like. I hate. Sometimes I love where the game's going because it's faster. People are stronger. They're more athletic than ever. But sometimes I hate it because it's like no one's playing defense and they're just trying to run up the score. They're trying to be fancy. The Michigan's cool. Like I get it. If it's my team, I'm jacked if they're doing it. If it's the team that's playing against the Bruins, I'm pissed about it. But those teams are kind of filled with a lot of youth, and those youthful players are going to try to just run up the score, not play defense, and it's like riverboat gamblers. So yeah, no, keep the Sharks and the Ducks play a lot. They're in the same conference. So yeah, bet those games for the overall year. But if you look at some of the more like original 6 teams, maybe not the Blackhawks, I'm sorry. Do love me some Blackhawks. If you look at the original 6 teams, maybe do the under, just because I feel like those guys have a little bit more of a mature bench. They have a more classic style of play, and the coaches don't necessarily promote the flamboyant side of the gameplay.
Yeah. Hey, don't knock the Hawks too hard. They had the first goal of the NHL season. Shout out Frank Nazer getting it done.
Yeah, I think it's their centennial year. Like, there's going to be some cool stuff. Be on the lookout for Jonathan Taves returning to United Center. I think they play at the United Center this year. They're in the Central, so yeah, they'll play each other a few times. Yeah. But no, there's a ton of good hockey to watch this year. I don't know if anyone has tuned into it, but the NHL Frozen Frenzy, where every team plays in the same day, it's bananas. But that's October 28th. I believe that's a Tuesday night. So you probably don't have anything going on. Check that one out.
We might have to get you on the TikTok live stream on our account, just NHL Red Zone style, just losing your mind in your tarp.
Yeah, no, I have to wear like a beer helmet or something like that. Stay hydrated. That's a lot of games. I'll have to take the day off from work.
Oops, sorry, can't make it in today.
Yeah, no, something came up, and I think it starts at 11 a.m. I think that there's some East Coast games that start at noon.
I've cracked a beer earlier than that before.
Yeah, I haven't. But the other game to watch out for, if there were to not be an opportunity to jump back on, Stanley Cup rematch is on November 22nd. So I think that's the weekend leading into Thanksgiving. Who's really working that week? Get weird. I don't know. I think it's in Edmonton, so it's gonna be a late game. Could be a good one to watch if you're back in your hometown and there's not a whole lot going on at the local watering hole. If it's on the little TV, be a great game to watch on November 22nd.
I'm sure we'll have you on by then, but I'll be looking for it. I will give you credit. The 2 times we've had you on, you've mentioned Leon Draisaitl, and I've failed to mention that Leon Draisaitl is my favorite non-Blackhawk player in the league right now.
Well, why?
I don't.
I mean, he's a great player. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I hitched my wagon to him. I've been high on him for 2 years now, especially last year. I said it in a clip that we had that did very well, that while McDavid is the superstar, the driving force is Leon Draisaitl. And a lot of people did not agree with me on that, but I believe that is still true.
Yeah, and apples to apples, this comparison doesn't work, but it'll be great to see him play for his country. I don't know if we ever got to see him play for his country yet, because, the last one was Oshie in the shootout versus Russia. Last time we had pros in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to see Draisaitl on the international platform too.
Yeah, and I know you're excited about that. I can't wait for that to get here because you're going to go bananas on this. I can't wait.
I am a hockey player. Yeah, no, a podcast is a long way from the heart, you candy ass. We're going to have a great time.
Tell me, Coxie, why'd you want to play college hockey? Isn't it obvious for the girls?
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh.
No, it's I know the international listeners are furious right now because they think Canada is going to win it all, but I loved it where the U.S. is at, so we'll see. Don't think Germany's taking home a medal, but we'll see.
All right. Anything else
Leon,
NHL?
put some on back.
Anything else NHL related that we got to know before Thanksgiving is here?
Yeah, this is specifically for Isaiah because I think we talked about this for like 5 minutes last time. Connor extended the contract for 2 years, and he was saying, where my head was at, and I think I gave myself a safe out either way. So either way, I was right. But 2 years, that's a teaser. That's a teaser. That's a big statement to Edmonton to be getting their stuff together. I don't know where Draisaitl's contract is, so shame on me. But
I think he's still got 3 or 4 years left on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And I didn't hate the amount either when I saw it, and it's escaping me now. But it wasn't like terrible. Like he wasn't putting the team in a chokehold with all the other changes they have going on, and who knows like where they're at the trade deadline. I think they still have some cushion.
2 years
to push for
2 years, $25 million. That is fairly team friendly, but also a statement as to what he thinks his future looks like.
Yeah, and it's Canadian dollars, and the taxes are high. So
conversion rate nowadays,
Yeah, no, they're going to have to pay a lot of folks, especially for someone from Vegas, Dallas, Florida, Nashville, all those the state income taxes. But yeah, I think that if there's one thing to know, Connor's there to stay for 2 more years. So the high flying Oilers, who have amounted up to nothing, unfortunately, could be back. We'll see.
All right. Well, Bus, as always, we appreciate you joining us, but I know you're great for a shout out every now and again. There it is. Get that back there. What do you got for a shout out this week?
I got 2.
Hit me.
I got 2. Judge Judy. I didn't realize how long she had been doing it. I had a nice call with my mom, and she was telling me how long she'd been doing it, just serving up justice like it's hotcakes. And I think she's just got a good head on her shoulders. So there's that. But the other one that I wanted to call out today, I already kind of ruined it, for the Boston Bruins. I'm telling people right now, I said in the first episode, Charlie McAvoy for the Norris. Isaiah laughed in my face. He laughed in my face. It was disrespectful because he doesn't know anything. He's at a burlesque show in Czechoslovakia right now. Who cares? Put it on Charlie McAvoy. Starting hot. Jeremy Swayman seems to have gotten his stuff together since the whole contract drama last year. I really like where we're at. I had no faith going into the season and keeping my expectations low. But Charlie, you're my guy. Go get him.
High talk from a Bruins fan who we both know come next summer will be crying next to a bottle of Lubriderm about how this season went.
I have it right next to me right now.
Naturally.
Yeah.
All right, Bus. Well, hey, buddy, thanks for being on. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being our NHL voice, bringing some clarity to our novice fandom.
Norris Trophy. Charlie McAvoy. All right. Thank you.
See you,
Thanks for
buddy.
having me again. See you later. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like we said, our co-host and friend Isaiah is busy in the nation's capital at that Janis Joplin themed burlesque show. He is tied up. So we brought in our NHL correspondent, Chris Busby, but we said, why don't we bring in another expert? Somebody who's really got Kansas City red flowing through their veins. A guy that really needs no introduction to the friends of the pod, but Mr. Matt Dieleman, welcome to Don't Quote Us Sports. Hey, welcome to the pod, big fella. Long-time listener, first-time caller, huh?
Long-time listener, long-time subscriber. Happy to be here. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you filling in and just giving us a little insight, especially in the realm of Kansas City sporting events. And speaking of, you just got back into town, back home from Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, just got back. Sunday night football in Arrowhead. Nothing like it. Light show, lights, fireworks. Patrick Mahomes back. Chiefs back. Go in and beat arguably, I would say, what I thought was the best team in the NFL. Coming into that game, and we kind of put a little stomping on them, and they didn't really know what to do. So it was a fun game to be at. Firing on all cylinders. Offense looks good. We got Rashee Rice back now. Defense looks good. So I'm happy where we're at.
Happy as a clam.
I'm happy 3-3. I think this is the best 3-3 500 team out there, and I think AFC Championship games in the future for sure.
So can we talk Arrowhead for a second? Because I think about 6 Sundays a year I get a snap from you in the parking lot at Arrowhead having a good old time.
Yeah.
I've been to Arrowhead. Now, granted, it was for a preseason game, but I've been to Arrowhead for a game. It's an incredible stadium. Don't get me wrong. What's the difference?
I mean, there's really nothing like it. You get there, gates open 4.5, 5 hours before the game starts. So we were out there at 1:30, setting up the tent, the cooler, getting the grill ready. I mean, you got about what's the stadium hold, like 70,000 or so. You probably got 40 to 50,000 people out there all tailgating in one little confined area. I mean, there's no easy way to get there. There's really no Uber. It's not downtown. It's kind of outskirts of the city. And I mean, everyone's just pumped up. Chiefs football, music blaring, flags flying, smelling ribs and burnt ends and beers and everything you can imagine. I mean, it's just Chiefs fans. I mean, they love tailgating. They love the Chiefs. And I mean, there's nothing like Arrowhead atmosphere, especially night game, prime time. Gotta love it.
They do put on an incredible night game show. The lights, the fireworks, the whole nine. I will say I had more fun in the tailgate than I did at the game that I attended. And that was me as a Titans fan wearing a Titans jersey like an asshole.
Yeah.
2 years after we had bounced you guys out in the AFC playoffs.
I mean, yeah, there's no really bad.
Bad blood.
There's no bad blood, no bad people out there. All kinds of Lions fans tailgating too, and walk by them. You're like, "Welcome to Arrowhead." Like, hope it's a good game. Like, everyone's respectful.
Get bent.
Midwest nice. It's like, we know you'd spend a lot of money to fly down here or drive down here, and you're gonna have a sad car ride and plane ride back home.
All right. So
it's all love.
It's all love. You guys do the whole tailgate setup, right?
Yep, we do the setup. So we were out there at 1:32 with one of my buddies. I was with one of my buddies and his family out there, and they do the whole setup. We got bags and grilled out brats and burgers and baked beans on the grill, and I mean, you got all kinds of stuff out there. You see people frying jalapeno poppers and making homemade fried pickles at tailgate right in front of you. I mean, so there's really no rule. There's no rules out there.
Matt Dieleman has a tailgate. He's got his own spot. He's got his deal set up. He's got one food. he's got one tailgating game, and he's got one beer in the cooler. What are they?
Yep. So food, without a doubt, probably chicken wings. Big Buffalo chicken wing guy. Can't go wrong. Probably one of my favorite foods.
Now, hold on. Are we grilling, or are you bringing out a whole fryer and the whole nine?
No, we're probably grilling them.
Okay.
We're probably grilling them on we're grilling them. I mean, charcoal grill. You can't really go wrong with a charcoal grill out there too. Game. We're probably playing bags, cornhole for you other folks who call it that weird name.
It's cornhole.
And one drink. I don't know. I like to stick with beer out there when we're tailgating. Just something light, Busch Light.
Chucking a couple Bushies in the cooler and say, let's get after it.
I was drinking some Busch Light apples yesterday. Can't go wrong. A little fall beer. It's actually pretty toasty out there, but it felt good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. The king of the tailgate, Mr. Dieleman. Seeing as you went to the game, I want to start with some overreactions in the NFL, and I want to start with Kansas City.
Yeah, let's do it.
Overreaction or not an overreaction, the Kansas City Chiefs have found a groove, and they are back.
I don't think that's an overreaction. I mean, we went those first 6 games, brutal schedule to start the season. Kind of lightens up a little bit, I think, after we get the Bills in a couple weeks. We got Rashee Rice back. I feel like everyone's starting to kind of finally find a role on the team. Kelsey's obviously not – he's getting a little older. Looked good yesterday, though, but he's starting to find his role. He doesn't have to try and be the guy every play. We got fast guys all around. Worthy, Hollywood, JuJu even knows his role too. He's not going to be a big-time player every game, but he's going to get those 3-4 catches that are really going to make a difference like that. I think we had 3rd and 18 yesterday out of field goal range, and then you got JuJu catching a little screen pass and running to get us down to a 4th and 1. We're able to convert that and keep the game going forward. So I don't think overreaction. I think defense looks good. Spags has got the guys going. Only thing I'm worried about is our special teams. I think that's the one thing that the Chiefs are lacking a little bit here. Harrison Butker scares me a little bit. Missing quite a few extra points this year. Can kind of tell Andy and the offense are not as comfortable with him kicking those long field goals anymore, where you're starting to see us go for 4th and mediums a lot more. But other than that, I think Chiefs are back. We get Rashee Rice back, and I mean, we're going to be firing. Offense looks good.
No, I have to mention that you mentioned every skill guy on the offense except for the running back position. And that's where my criticism of the Chiefs is coming in, is their offensive line and their inability to run the ball. Patrick Mahomes, they had, I think they had, 112 rushing yards. 32 of those were on 10 carries by Mahomes. You take that away between Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and I think Xavier Worthy got a carry in there. They only had 80 yards, and that's kind of been the story of the Chiefs. And we know in the NFL, if you can't run the ball, you can't win.
Yeah, but I mean, that, like you said, it's been the story of the Chiefs for the last 3-4 years, where you're not really relying on running backs, and we've been able to find a way to win. I don't really see that changing, where that's not going to help us find ways to win, but I do see your point where running game never really gets going. They never really design good running plays. Yesterday had 2 good runs. Pacheco broke off a couple good ones because had some good holes. But other than that, I mean, you look at the discrepancy in pass plays and rush plays called. It's 80% pass, 20% rush. And I mean, that's how it's been for the last 3-4 years. So you got to kind of expect it.
So do you think that's a scheme thing, or because I know there's a small camp of Chiefs fans that are talking a trade for a running back should be done this week, to be honest?
I think the Chiefs are probably going to try and make some moves. I can see him going for a running back. Breece Hall is probably on sale. Been hearing a lot of rumors that Breece could be going there. I mean, obviously just a bunch of people talking. I think we could use another defensive piece on the edge, but I don't know if the Chiefs go out and get one of the top 10, 15 running back guys, like, are they going to start running it more? I don't know. I don't see it. Like, you can have a guy like Brees Hall or someone else that they'd trade for. But I don't know if that would change the scheme facts.
A quick name that I'm going to throw out, and it's really come in my mind to light in the last hour with the announcement of the Titans firing Brian Callahan. I think fire sale is imminent out of Nashville. Tony Pollard could be a very real option for a lot of teams out there. I don't know your thoughts on Tony. He's clearly not the running back he was in Dallas, but still a formidable running back. I would argue probably more formidable than Pacheco and Hunt have been to this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I like Pacheco. Pacheco's my guy.
Same.
I feel he runs hard. He runs hard. Loves football. He's not afraid to take a hit. I don't know. I feel like it's just a scheme thing. I don't know if it would be any different. I mean, if you have a guy like Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry or one of those top 3-4 guys, obviously I feel like the scheme would change a little bit. But the Chiefs, I mean, since Jamal Charles have never really had like that top running back where they're able to hand the ball off to all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about spoiled in the running back room that you guys have had in the mid to late '90s into the early 2000s. Spoiled is the word.
Yeah, and the last since this run we've had Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's just been pretty average dudes. So
yeah, I mean, when you've got Patrick Mahomes, you're okay throwing the ball 80% of the time. Last thing on this Chiefs game, why did JuJu get his ass beat?
My theory is, I mean, JuJu had a good game last night. I think he had like 4 or 5 catches for about 60 yards, and I think a few of those were on Brian Branch. And then Patrick Mahomes rushing touchdown. He kind of did the point at Brian Branch because he missed him or kind of hit him into the end zone, took a decent hit. And then I think after the game, from what I saw, Patty went to go shake his hand. He wasn't having it. And then JuJu probably said something stupid to him, and that just warranted that. And he was trying to be stupid or funny guy, and Brian Branch probably pissed off and didn't take kindly to it, and then that's how that went. So I don't. It was probably noted, just something.
Should be noted that Brian Branch is considered one of the dirtiest players in the NFL, if not the dirtiest.
I've always thought he's a little bit of a scumbag, and JuJu probably said something to get under his skin, and at least it didn't get too out of hand. So.
No,
I saw JuJu had a little bloody nose though.
Oh, he got popped one good time. He got popped once good. So
I mean, if it was probably deserved in my biased eyes.
Talk shit, get hit, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
All right. Another overreaction, underreaction. Oh, you got something else on the Chiefs?
I was gonna say, but final thing, I think Chiefs are back. We're gonna see some dominance going forward.
It'll be interesting to see how they incorporate Rasheed with Worthy, with JuJu, with Hollywood. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, because last year we never really had all those 3 guys together for any games. So.
Right.
All right. What we get.
Overreaction, underreaction. Rico Dowdle and Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers single-handedly ended the Cowboys season this weekend.
Are the Panthers sneaky good?
I think so.
I think the Panthers are sneaky good. They got, all those young guys on the offense. Dowdle, McMillan, Leggett. You got Chuba in there still. You got Bryce Young. Sneaky good team. Cowboys always kind of, they've been middle of the pack, so I don't know if they necessarily ended the season, because my thoughts would be, did this season ever really have like a
leg to stand
high
on?
Hopes. When CD goes out a couple weeks ago, you lose him. You lose Michael Parsons. You're kind of in I don't want to say a rebuilding, but they're kind of in a lull year, as they have been. But once those two things happened early on in the season, I don't know if their season really had a lot of promise to start with, but I feel like yesterday was probably a little bit of a dagger.
And I think the biggest insult to injury on the whole thing was you got by Rico Dowdle, a guy that you identified as, we're good, we don't need you. We're going to bring Javonte and Miles Sanders in. Now respected to Javonte Williams for what he's doing, because he's playing incredibly well. Did not have a great game against the Panthers. But yeah. Rico Dowdle, goes bonkers last weekend. And then this past weekend, hey, you're playing the Cowboys. You're playing the team that said you weren't good enough for us. So what does he do? He goes out and has another 240 total yard game, a touchdown, and just absolutely puts his foot on the throat of the Cowboys. He
Yeah, I mean,
single-handedly made that defense look human because that defense had played well.
he played pissed off, and I think he said before the game like he's gonna show him why they never should have cut him. And I mean, he took some belt to ass during that game and made him pay a little bit. So I was happy for Rico, happy for the Panthers to see them kind of whoop up on them a little bit. Close game, but I feel like looking at the stats and kind of just following the game, it seemed like the Panthers just kind of had that one the whole time.
Yeah, and Isaiah, I kind of called him nuts for thinking Dave Canales could win Coach of the Year when we did our futures picks.
Yeah.
Mad respect to Dave Canales, mad respect to what's happening in Carolina. I've been a Bryce believer really from the beginning with the understanding that there were going to be hiccups. He's a smaller guy. He is not fully developed as a quarterback yet. We are now seeing the fruits of their labor. I mean, Bryce, 3 touchdowns and a pick. He's going to make mistakes. He's not going to be a Josh Allen. He's not going to be a Justin Herbert, but he's going to be something better than Kyler. I'll tell you, I think this is where he's kind of slotting in at. You picked him number 1 overall. Like, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's on the right timeline. I think in today's NFL, and you would know this being a Chiefs fan, we are all too quick to push a young kid out there to be the starter. I think while, he was the starter, expectations were 0 when he came into the league.
Yeah. I think so too. I'm honestly pretty upset with myself in my Dynasty Fantasy League that I've been in for a while. He, I think early on last season had 2 crappy games, a few interceptions, and they benched him, and I put him on the trade block, and I sold him for a 4th round 2026 pick. And looking back, I'm like, that's pretty stupid because now he's got it figured out a little bit in Carolina.
Yeah, you better be hoping for Lenora Sellers in the 4th, huh?
Yeah, he's got good pieces though. Tet McMillan, one of my favorite guys to watch play college football for a couple years with him and Noah Fafita at Arizona. That team was really good, and I mean, I would stay up late when those games started at 9 because love watching him catch balls and touchdowns and runs. So I was happy to see him get his not only his first, but he got his two against the Cowboys this weekend, and I mean they're firing a little bit too. They got pissed off Rico, good pieces on the outside for Bryce. If that defense can hold up a little bit, then they might be all right.
Yeah, that defense feels a piece away, doesn't it?
Yeah, piece or two probably.
So,
but I mean, if you got an offense that can put up 30 points a game like they have the last couple weeks, then it might be all right down the stretch.
So on the flip side of that, right, I agree. I don't know that the Cowboys season ever really had a leg to stand on to begin with, but Dak is playing well. And this is classic Cowboys. His statistics are great. They just can't win tough games. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any easier. Let me run you through their next 4 games, and you got to give me a win-loss here based on where the Cowboys are currently at. Okay. So the next game, they're going home, and they're playing the Commanders.
I see that as a win.
Okay. Putting a lot of stock in Jerry World there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they
I give a lot of stock to when you're at home. Home games make a difference. Even if you're a good team going somewhere like Carolina, even where you think you got an easy win. I mean, sometimes you don't. You're not playing it on your home turf. You don't get to sleep in your own bed the night before. So I like home teams against away teams, even if the away team's a little better. So I see that as a win in Jerry's World for the Cowboys.
All right. Well, then speaking of going on the road, then they go to Denver, who is a hot team right now. A hot team.
Probably a loss. They didn't look great against the Jets in London. I get it, London game. You're sleepy. No one likes playing in London probably. But I like Denver. Good defense. Bo Nix looks good. He's a fearless runner and thrower. So
plus,
see that as a loss.
That defense is elite. 9 sacks against the Jets.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But watching that game was brutal. But yeah, I see that as a loss for the Cowboys. Probably going to Mile High. Tough to play in Mile High too.
Yep. And then it gets a little easier the next 2 games. They go home against Kyler and the Cardinals.
It's probably a win. I'm not sure how long Kyler's out. Was it just a 1-game thing or is it for a little while?
1 or 2.
So he might be back by then, but that's probably a win for them.
Okay. And then they go to Las Vegas.
Probably a win.
See, and I think they're dropping one of those. Good. I think one of those gimme Arizona or Vegas games, I think they're going to drop them. And truthfully, I think it's against the Vegas Raiders. I know.
Really?
I get it. I think that game Genty is going to dominate, and I think that's going to be. I think they're going to be hit upside the head, kind of like they were with
All right.
Rico Dowdle.
All right. I can see that. I see that. Probably, I don't know. I see it 2-2 in those next four, which sits them still at 500. They got that gross tie on their stat sheet too,
Yeah,
which
nobody likes
always
to tie.
isn't great.
I think if they go 3-1, they're going to be in an okay spot. But if they drop two of those, I think we're looking at a top 12 pick.
Probably.
So
I agree. I'm with you there.
So thoughts and prayers to the Cowboys fans, even though this is exactly what you deserve.
Fair statement. When the Cowboys lose, America wins, I think, is what I heard at the someone say last night. So
It's not a bad way to put it. Let's stay in the NFC East, though. There's a team on the rise that some people are saying could be the NFC East representative here, and that is New York Giants. Overreaction, underreaction. The New York Giants have found their franchise quarterback of the future in Jackson Dart.
Underreaction, because I mean, even if he's not the franchise quarterback, anything you put out besides Russell Wilson is going to look amazing to not only Giants fans but probably people watching football. So I like Jackson Dart. Obviously, still a rookie, kind of like we talked about. Like, hard to expect them to be good right off the bat, right in their first couple games. But I mean, he looks good. I love Cam Scatabo. He's insane. He's like everything you want in football. Just absolute psychopath when he has the ball in his hands. You have like two opposite ends of the spectrum. You have like the crafty, savvy running backs like Christian McCaffrey, and then you have dudes that just with straight CTE, like don't care about anything like Cam Scatabo. And I mean, hard runner, put up 3 touchdowns against the Eagles. I mean, that's hard to do for any running back, any offense. I think they got a good pieces there, and probably saved Brian Dable's job the last couple weeks.
I tell you what, I think Brian Dable should be getting Jackson Dart a new car and maybe a new house.
Yeah,
for saving his job.
New car, house, Rolex,
new girlfriend, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Get him anything he wants right now, because him and Cam have saved his job at least for the rest of this year.
Yeah, and if you look at that offense where they're at, like that defense, their front is good. They've got a lot of work to do in the secondary. I want them to get a true middle linebacker that can just absolutely run things. So guys like Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter don't have to worry about it. Like, let them be the cerebral guy. We'll just be the guy going and getting the ball. They're going to go O-line next year. They have to. You're going to get Malik back. You've got Wandell. Jalen Hyatt is going to continue to get better with Dart. I think Dart likes him a lot more than Russ did.
I like
think
Theo too. Theo's a good. He's a good piece in the tight end.
Yes, absolutely.
I think you got pieces around.
I don't want to jump the gun early. I'm kind of like you. I think we need to be a little more patient. But he's got 2 wins as the guy, and it's against the Chargers and Eagles. It's not like he went out and beat the Titans and the Raiders.
I agree, and you could argue if maybe they would have trusted him a little bit against the Chiefs. They had an off game that just the week before, and you don't throw Russell Wilson in there. Maybe they even steal one against the Chiefs at home too, and you have 3. But I agree, he's got 2 in a row. I'm not sure who they have coming up next.
Do you want to know? Because I know.
Let's hit me.
They're going to Denver.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Which I think Denver is very, very good against the run this year. I think if they can eliminate Scatabo, they're going to put Jackson Dart in some spots that he's going to be real uncomfortable. I'm not going to be shocked when the Giants don't win this game and that Dart does struggle, but I think it's patience. Hang on. You're going against one of the best defenses in football, an up-and-coming team on the road. Hang in there, Giants fans. This kid might be the kid he very well could be. Just don't get on him early.
Yeah, it's going to be a low-scoring game. It is tough that they kind of lost Malik before they threw Dart in there. So not really see what that connection is going to look like. Because I see if he's in there with him getting to throw to Neighbors and then having those other options like Wandell, Hyatt, and Theo, they would look good. So it's sad to see Malik out. So it's probably still not a Probably not a playoff team this year, in my opinion. They might sneak in with a wild card if they can keep it up. But I could see them in the next couple of years making some playoff runs.
I think so too. I think they're
feel
going to be in a way better spot than they have been the last few.
I mean, in their conference too, I feel like the Eagles have lost a little bit of juice. The Cowboys, and then you got the commies. I mean, next probably just the commies.
The Commies. When they were naming
Commies
that team, they probably should have
they're-
thought about naming the team in the capital something other than the Commanders. Do you remember the names? Do you recall the names that they were floating around?
Wasn't it like Washington football team? And
It was that. The Brigade was my go-to.
that sounds like a indoor football team.
It could
name.
have been pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're stuck with the commies. So I see. I don't know. I see Giants. They could probably figure it out in the next couple of years. They keep Dart and Scatterbo, get neighbors back healthy. I like them. So not an underreaction, but obviously got to give them a little bit more time.
All right. Anything else for the greater good of the NFL? Anything grinding your gears? Anything chewing your mind in the NFL world right now?
I was saying last night, I used to be a little bit of a tush push hater. But I was saying last night, I think I saw a couple 4th and 1s that we had, and I looked over to my left and was like, if we could run the tush push successfully and, weren't scared of getting Patrick hurt, like I would run the tush push a couple times here if we need a yard or two. I know people think it's bad for the game, but I think I've switched stances a little bit, and like, does it suck to see the Eagles run it 4 times in a row on the 3-yard line, like to score a touchdown? Yeah, it sucks, but like if you need a yard, you need to pick up a yard. Like you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah. On this pod,
we have stances on the tush push a little.
We understand it as a football play. It just needs to be properly officiated.
Correct.
If they get that right, my complaints of the tush push will stop. Because it is a football play. There is a place for it in football. It has to be done correctly. And as the Eagles run it, it should be penalized every single time.
You guys talked about it, but yeah, you see those videos of the Eagles run it when they play against the Chiefs or anyone. I mean, they got 4 guys moving before the center even snaps the ball. It's like, all right, false start, obviously. But if it's ran right, officiated right, I mean, I don't mind it. If you need a yard, go get your big guys in there and go get a yard.
Maybe a little tush-push fatigue on the mind, making you switch it up a little bit here, huh?
Yep. I've seen it done so many times against us that now I feel like, it would be nice to not have to run like a fullback play to Kareem Hunt when we need 2 yards, and if we could just do the tush push or something.
Then again, I don't know if you want your $500 million quarterback in the middle of that scrum.
Probably not ever. Throw in Gardner Minshew for the tush push.
Hey, I'd love to see it. Get the flow out there. Has he grown that thing back yet?
Yeah, he has. He had it out last night a little bit, but
yeah,
it's crazy that Gardner Minshew is backing up for Patty Mahomes right now.
You guys have kind of had a thing for that. Wentz last year, Henny for forever. So
anything is possible.
Anything is possible, maybe.
You got anything on your mind NFL wise?
Chris and I talked about it a little bit, but let me touch on it a little more in depth on my opinion of the news of Brian Callahan being fired. I'll take it all the way back to Rand Carthen getting hired as the GM. I loved it. Big dreams, said all the right things, said we were going to make all the right moves. And he did until he let Vrabel go. And they framed that as a ownership decision. I don't believe that for a second as a Titans fan. I think that was a Rand decision. And then the whole rigmarole with Rand and the hiring of Callahan, and it's been a mess. So we knew this was coming before he even signed the contract. Like, this was not going to be successful. We sat here and thought Callahan coached Burrow, and that's the difference. He's going to come in and be a guru for Levis. First game, shit talks Levis to the media. Confidence is gone. Everything falls apart. So to see what we've done with the number 1 pick in Cam Ward and ruined him, while he's still got some confidence, thank God, he has not taken a step that we need him to take. Titans fans are not asking for 42-10 blowout wins. What we're asking for is like that first week being in a one-score game and being competitive,
Yeah.
not getting bent over the barrel. So things had come to a head. It clearly was not getting better. We absolutely should not have won against Arizona. They gifted that game to us. We should be 0 wins. So I'm not going to sit here and celebrate, yay, he's fired, but it's about time. I'm glad it's done with. My biggest fear, like this season's a wash. We can chalk it up to just let's focus on Cam and making him a better quarterback.
Yep.
I think the fire sale needs to start. I think Pollard and Ridley should be on the move. I don't want him to move Jeffrey Simmons. I think I would prefer to keep that piece, but that's where our value is right now. Expect a fire sale. The next 2 weeks, the Titans are probably going to move 2 to 4 guys.
I believe you. I mean, as they should. Go get some picks, rebuild, chalk the year up.
I'm concerned because I don't know. I just don't know who is going to be our next head coach. Like you look at who's out there right now, and there's some options, but it was pretty sparse last year. Although Schottenheimer, he's hanging in there. Liam down in Jacksonville is leading coach of the year right now. Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson. Aaron Glenn is struggling, but that is what it is. Like the pool isn't as big as it once was. So I'm hopefully optimistic, but very skeptical of what is to come for the Titans.
Do you go you take the year off basically, let an assistant guy see what he can do, kind of like a nothing to lose type of deal, kind of like, I mean, college obviously different. UCLA fires their coach and now reinvigorated offense. They got nothing to lose, everything to play for. You let that happen, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the interim named yet. We've been filming since it got released. In terms of next season, I just don't want to waste a year of Cam's time and of contract controlled value, because if he pops like he's supposed to, like a number one pick, in 3.5 years' time, we're going to have to pay this guy. So what I don't want to do is waste not just this season, but next season as well doing something like that. Our next coach has to come in and be a quarterback guy. And who jumps to mind is John Gruden immediately, right? But we also understand the issues that come with hiring Gruden as your head coach.
Yeah.
So it's a tough time to be a Titans fan.
It's tough. It's been tough. I feel for you the last couple of years for sure.
Yeah, I miss Derrick Henry every morning and every night.
As you should.
Yeah. So, but hey, let's get out of pro ball. Let's get to the amateur version of football, being college football.
The better product, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I love college football.
Absolutely. And we have to start with the biggest thing that came out of this weekend. James Franklin is
get out of here.
Gone.
It was either gonna be James Franklin or Luke Fickell. Who was going first?
And the fact that and maybe the notification's gone. The fact that Luke Fickell still has a job at this hour baffles me. And it's not. We actually, Busby and I just talked about it. I like Luke Fickell as a guy. I like him as a coach and a leader of men. It just didn't work out. I thought he would be gone before Franklin, but Franklin is out of Happy Valley, getting a nice paycheck of roughly $50 million in a contract buyout.
I think what did I send you today? That he's getting paid like $20,000 a day or something for the next 5 years or something like that?
I got it right here. It was per month, $666,000 a year. Per second of his day, he makes a quarter per second.
Nice. So I think that's the new job plan is, I'm going to start coaching high school football, work my way up to like a D3, D2 JuCo college, and then eventually make my way to Power 5. And then all I got to do is be good for a year or two. And once I start sucking, I'm got a house in Cancun.
Just got a nice payday
the rest
coming.
of my life, like James Franklin. If I was James Franklin, I'd probably call it quits.
Oh, we both know he's not. We're going to get into that, okay? But on this podcast, we have been screaming it from the mountaintops to the high heavens that James Franklin can't win big football games.
Never has been able to.
Ever. So let me run you through some stats. And we've done this before on here, but I want to reiterate. He was 104-95 as the head coach of Penn State, almost 500. He was 64-36 in Big Ten play. He was 17-26 against ranked opponents and only 4-21 against top 10. That plays at a school like Rutgers, at a school like UCLA, at a school like Michigan State right now, where it absolutely doesn't play. And the reason that he's fired is you're at Penn State, a blue chip program. I mean, one of the original schools, one of the biggest historical names in college football. Joe Pa coached there. There's a fucking statue of the guy.
Yeah, where guys go because they want to play in the NFL. You go to a school like Penn State.
Yep, and it's his inability to, one, get them to the playoff, which has only happened one time. But then also the development, I think, has a play into it as well. You look at the quarterback situation through the career of James Franklin. Can I hit you with this?
Yeah, hit me. What do you got? McSorley.
Under his tenure as the Penn State head coach, he has only had 3 quarterbacks drafted: Christian Hackenberg, Tace McSorley, and Sean Clifford, who had the best career out of the 3 of those guys.
That's just baffling somehow.
At Penn State.
Yeah.
You know, and I know Penn State in the last 25 years hasn't been known for sending quarterbacks to the league, but they've always been known to have a phenomenal quarterback on their team. All 3 of those guys were great talents. And then you throw guys in like Matt McGloin, right? He was a great talent there too. Drew Allaire was a great talent at one point in time. It's
supposed to be.
I think that feeds into this narrative of he can't win big games, he can't develop quarterbacks properly, and it's embarrassing as a blue chip to have this happen every single year like it's on script.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel for the guy a little bit, especially this year. I mean, you think you get all the pieces. I mean, you get Singleton and Katron Allen back, your Sonic and Knuckles per se, like Gibbs and Montgomery a little bit. You go get Trevor Pena from Miami in the portal. You got Drew Aller, who's supposed to be good. I mean, decent. I mean, I wouldn't have expected him to, be a waste. Sucks that he out for the season on kind of a bang play with only like a minute or 2 to score. But like he gets hurt at the end of that game, but they should have never been in a point where they got to run hurry up against Northwestern at home because they're down by 1. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
If they would have lost to Ohio State that way, James Franklin probably still has his job today.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that, and I knew that Oregon loss was going to be big for them. I didn't think it would cripple the program to its knees, because you lose at home to Oregon in a good game, in a fun game, in a top game of the season. Then you go to UCLA, which, sure, you're going from East Coast to West Coast, but you should go in there and dominate in a half-empty Rose Bowl against a bad UCLA team, and you lose. Well, now we've got to come back home. Okay, we've got Northwestern. This should be an easy bounce back. 2 should be in to start the 4th. Let's get back on track. And they
You should play a pissed off game. You just lost to UCLA. I mean, no one's talking about UCLA at all this year, and you go and lose to UCLA. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Nico. Loved him at Tennessee. Like I said earlier, I mean, they're playing a little bit reinvigorated. Firehead coach, you got nothing to lose. Run some trick plays. So ran into a little bit of UCLA is like, screw it. Like, let's just go have fun. And you go lose because you're too worried about the X's and O's a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I saw it coming. He deserves to be let go. I think they go, I mean, you're halfway through the season already. So you go interim and then you start searching.
So that's what I want to talk about next, is the future of not just Penn State football, but the future of James Franklin. Because he could easily say, I'm good, I got $50 million in the bank, plus whatever I already made. I'm going to go work for the Big Ten Network or for Fox, and I'm going to go be a talking head, because I think he's got the right persona and look and the attitude for that type of thing. I just don't know that the competitor in him will let him do that. So let's start with him. Let's start with James Franklin as a head coach. I've got a list of schools here, okay? And I want you to kind of give me a pulse on what's your confidence level that could be a fit for him.
Okay.
Let's start with one that has had basically a head coaching opening since game one, essentially, and that's Virginia Tech, who's dying for a legit head coach.
They're dying. I'm gonna go on like a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being like he's got no interest. 5, he can get there. Virginia Tech, respectable football school.
An institution.
Kind of like kind of like you said, they've been dying for a head coach a little bit. They're always kind of 500 sort of team. They have been for the last couple of years, and he could be a guy that could turn it around a little bit. So I'm gonna go 3 there.
Okay.
See, I could see him there, but I could see him passing.
Rumors swirling for Virginia Tech that they really like Mike Vick. Makes sense.
That would be crazy.
Okay, next team. A team that had a head coach for 20 some odd years. A team that is going to have to completely tear down and rebuild their entire program, and that is Oklahoma State.
They are a dumpster fire this year. Love Mike Gundy. Has given us a lot of great content moments, a lot of great football moments. I'm gonna bump it up from 3. I think I could see him at Oklahoma State. Like, that's a respectable football school too. That's not where coaches go to die. I mean, they get good players. I feel like a lot of kids like going to Oklahoma State, like playing for Mike Gundy. So I could see Franklin at Oklahoma State.
Okay, I like that. I think the expectations would be low enough where he could go in and really instill his program like he did at Penn State.
Yeah, I agree. Rebuild for a year or two, and then next thing you know, you're top of the Big 12 again.
Yep. What about Arkansas?
I don't see him at Arkansas.
I think I like him there if Arkansas can get their donors to spend money. I don't think it's the fact that they don't have the money. I think under Sam Pittman, they were hesitant to give the money. So if you're Arkansas, you're pushing hard for that because it's dollars in, which is huge. And I just don't know how well James Franklin would fare going back to the SEC, but in an SEC that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know.
And now I'm going to go to two programs that have not fired their head coaches yet, but their coaches are on the hot seat. The University of Florida, if they choose to move off of Billy Napier.
Florida's in the hot seat. I feel like Franklin fits at Florida.
I could see it as well.
He fits at Florida.
I could see it as well. His recruiting ability, I think, would really play well there. And this is one of my favorite picks, this next school. It's the University of Wisconsin. I think we're all assuming, again, Luke Fickell is probably out of a job. What better place to go, run the exact same offense and defense, go get a recruiting base, and then run a revenge tour on the Big Ten?
You think he would be like revenge? I feel like he's the type of guy that would he's wanting to switch conferences. He doesn't want to stay in the Big Ten. He doesn't want to. What's going to be different? I mean, he's getting beat up by other Big Ten average schools. Like, do you really want to go stay in the Big Ten, stay and see if you can like reignite your coaching career in the team that you're at, or do you go try again somewhere else?
I would love to see an angry James Franklin in red.
It would be cool to see, but I feel like I'd be the type of guy that's like, all right, didn't work out in the Big Ten. If I go back to the Big Ten and it doesn't work out again in Wisconsin or wherever it would be, like my coaching career is done. I got no shot at Power 5. I got no shot in the NFL ever. I'm just done. So I feel like it's better for him to probably go restart in another conference somewhere, but obviously Power 5, somewhere that has decent accolades over the last 5, 10, 15 years where he can kind of reset them and give him a year or two before he tries to get a team back in the playoff, back in top 25.
And while I like Franklin there, I like another head coach to Wisconsin better. Busby and I talked about this. Tom Pulsick, the head coach at North Dakota State, I think would be a phenomenal hire at Wisconsin.
I'm always a fan of coaches that have a lot of success in the FCS at those big top schools coming in and seeing what they can do in Division I and FBS. You see it a lot in college basketball, and it seems to work out, and it's fun. So, I mean, I'm all for it.
So I would say you like Franklin at Oklahoma State or Florida more than anything.
I think those would be my top two if I had to pick.
I think Florida, you're going in with some expectations, and it's, hey, we're hiring you because you're James Franklin and you know how to win some games. Whereas Oklahoma State, he can completely demolish it all and rebuild what he wants.
I think at Oklahoma State, here's the keys.
Don't dent it.
Don't dent it. We'll reach back out in 2 years and see how you're doing.
Okay. So that's James Franklin, but Penn State is without a head coach. And I don't think they can just hire anybody here. I think you have to hire a name, right?
You got to hire a name at Penn State always.
All right. So same thing, kind of a 1 through 5 confidence level. I'm going to hit you with 5 names, and you tell me about the fit. And this first one, I'm going to tell you it's a 1 for me. It doesn't make any sense for me, but there's a lot of chatter that Matt Rule would leave Lincoln, Nebraska to go be the head coach at Penn State.
I saw that on some news outlets, a little bit of sports talk radio as well. That wouldn't make any sense for Matt Rule. I feel like that would be, you're just putting yourself in a little bit of a coffin. You got something good going on right now in Nebraska. You're 5-1. You're in the top 25. I think they're ranked
25th.
Ranked 25th. They just snuck in. Don't ruin your coaching career this early. I mean, you're going to make a bowl game with Nebraska. They're probably looking like they're at least going to win 7-8 games this year. I don't see him. He's not leaving. He's not leaving Nebraska. I think he likes Nebraska.
I do too. They have made him the face of the program. They have given him an open checkbook. For me, it would be a fool move for him and Penn State. You don't want to deal with that branding side of things and trying to revamp your entire image to be around Coach Rule, where I think he is a coach that you have to build an image around it.
He looks good too. I think he looks like he's on Ozempic or something.
He's for sure shooting that shit, baby.
He's probably shedded 60, 70 pounds since last season, but that wouldn't make sense for him to leave. If he leaves, that's a bonehead decision on his part.
All right. Here's another huge name out of the Big Ten, and it's a name that yesterday wasn't a huge name, and it is today. Curt Cignetti at Indiana.
Same boat for me. That just would be a bonehead move on his part. He basically started Indiana from kind of the ground up a little bit, and look where they're at now. I think they came in at number 3 or 4 today. I love the Hoosiers. I think I'm going to talk about them a little bit more in the next segment of Natty Championship aspects, but bonehead move for Cignetti if he left. He's got a good thing going too, and feels like everyone wants to come to Indiana and play.
Yeah, and he's such a dog in the portal to get dudes to go to Bloomington, Indiana. And I think I can understand the attraction of going to Penn State as Curt Cignetti. Keep getting great at what you're good at. You know what I mean? Like
keep getting great. You're going to be they're Alabama 5-6 years ago right now. Everyone wants to come play. They're getting guys in the portal. They're scheduling tough games, and they're winning tough games.
And I think the Indiana University is doing everything they can to, 1, pay him properly, and 2, make sure he has the NIL funding. I think they recognize, oh shit, we're not just a basketball school. So that's kind of cool to see. I think he'd be a fool to leave as well. I like him at Indiana.
I like him at Indiana. He's going to be there for a little while.
I think so too. All right. Manny Diaz, former coach on the staff under Franklin, had a stint as the Miami head coach where it definitely didn't work out. Current head coach at Duke, who is a surprise team this year for folks. I really like Duke this year. I consider them one of the better 2-loss teams out there last week. But Manny Diaz, a defensive-minded guy, a guy who's coached linebackers.
Defensive coordinator at Penn State, right?
Yep.
Makes sense.
I think so,
It makes sense for them to hire an inside guy, knows the program, knows the people on the inside. Obviously, didn't work out at Miami. Like you said, Duke, decent 2-loss team. But he feels like a guy that could come in and turn things around. And the fans are going to respect him. The players are going to respect him because he's been there. He knows what he's talking about. I could see it.
It would, for me, like that's the name. He is a name. He's a recognizable name. He's familiar with the program in a big way. He understands their expectations, right? He's a pretty decent recruiter, especially on the defensive side of the ball. If that's your hire, which I think is probably the most likely, in my opinion, would be Manny Diaz, make sure you go get yourself an offensive coordinator who has head coaching experience and is just a freak offensively. Truthfully, and this is going to sound crazy, if he could go get like a Dana Holgerson out of, I'm not kidding, out of Nebraska, like if you're going to go get one of the Nebraska coaches, go get that guy.
Yeah.
So that's a 5 for me on that one.
I could see Manny there. He's definitely a better option for his coaching career than Matt Rule or Cignetti from the names that you've talked about so far.
Okay. What about Adam Golish? He's the head coach at South Florida, who's got him all the way up to 21 this week.
They look good. I like South Florida. Byron Brown. They got Chaz Nimrod, Mudia Rubin. I like that offense a little bit. He feels like a guy who's going to stick there. Obviously, USF, not a power program, never really has been. And then I don't know. I'm not a big fan of when you got something good going on at your school and you're building something up and you got guys that want to play for you. Then don't just go and leave them in the dust and go somewhere because they got a big name. I don't know. I'd like to think that he'd want to stay at USF and keep building on what they got going on this year. But, I mean, who knows? It's Penn State. I mean, everyone wants the Penn State job. I'm sure there'd be some I'm sure there'd be some NFL guys that would move down just to take the Penn State job. So,
which for whatever reason, Mike Tomlin has been linked to this job, which I don't get at all. But
Mike Tomlin he's just like Kirk Ferentz. He's gonna have to die, or something crazy is gonna happen for him to leave the Steelers and stop coaching.
Yep. And in terms of Golish, I don't think he's enough of a name.
Probably not yet.
I also think there's some schools in the Big 12 and SEC that are really going to want him. I think he is absolutely on the move after this year, unfortunately, because I do like what they're building down there. I just don't think that's the job for him yet.
He's probably on the move, unfortunately. I agree, but Penn State's too big.
Yeah. And then
you're throwing a guy and saying drink from the water hose at Penn State. Good luck.
Yeah.
They're hiring a guy with a resume. That's for sure.
And let me tell you about the last guy on this list, a resume guy. And if it's not Manny Diaz, I think this conversation needs to be had in a big way. Matt Campbell from Iowa State. Hear me out. Hear me out on this. I don't think Matt Campbell is leaving Iowa State. I think Penn State has to do everything they can to get him to leave Ames. I think
him extra.
He is a blue-collar, lunch-pail coach. He is an incredible recruiter. Who gets 4-star kids to go to Ames, Iowa? You've been there. There's nothing there. Jack Trice is nothing special. It's a nice stadium. It is nothing special.
There's a Freddy's and a Chick-fil-A, I think.
Hey, what's that joint that they chuck the hot rolls at you?
Not Texas Road.
No. It's a local joint. You just put your hand up and they huck rolls at you.
I haven't been, but I have heard about that place.
Yeah.
So they're like, we got hot rolls in Ames.
Yeah, and they just.
I agree. I'm with you there.
I think if Matt Campbell wants to take the next step, because I think he's had the opportunity, pro ball. If he wasn't a top choice for Alabama last year, Alabama's a fool. Right. But I think that job is so bright and shiny and it's SEC and it's hyper focused. Right. I just don't think that's his style of football. Whereas Penn State is very much we're miners, we're iron workers. We are blue collar. This is Pittsburgh. This is Philly. Right. So I think Matt Campbell would fit there and he would have exponentially more funding. He would be getting paid exponentially more in his salary. He could pay his assistant guys exponentially more. But is that enough for him to leave what he has built in Ames, Iowa?
I don't think so. He's got a nice big house out the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
drive by it every once in a while when I'm playing. He seems to kind of be. He seems like a guy that he's happy where he's at. He likes Iowa, likes Ames, likes his program. Like I said, it would be Penn State making him an offer that he really can't refuse if he's getting there, I think.
And even then, he still might refuse it.
He might.
I don't know.
Seems like a guy that's just happy with the little things in life and doesn't want all the pressure on him. He's got Iowa State. I mean, they took that tough loss to Colorado this weekend, but they've always kind of been in the talkings. And, between 20 and 25, they're winning 7, 8, 9 games. And I think Iowa State fans are happy with that.
Very, very, very happy. Obviously, expectations are high. They got a lot of bounce back to do up there in Ames. But I'm glad you brought up their upset. I'm glad you brought that up because that leads us into our next segment. Have you looked at what the hell happened in the AP poll from Saturday night until Sunday afternoon when it was released?
Yeah, there's a lot of movement.
Chaos.
A lot of new teams in there. I'm pulling them up real quick.
I mean, the whole slate. Let me break this down. The whole slate was not a mess, but a beautiful nightmare. And it started Thursday night. You got 24 USF going into unbeaten North Texas. I picked North Texas. I was all about it. Did you see the score of that game? Because they combined for 99 total points.
Yeah. Just belt to bottom. USF did it to them. North Texas, they might have been leading at halftime or something, and USF just came out pissed off and then scored like 47 points in the second half.
It was an absolute track meet.
Track meet. I was just about to say that.
But that's
a fun game to watch.
That kicked off whatever the hell this weekend was. Let me run you through.
Yep.
I just want you to tell me which one was most surprising to you. So you had USC over number 15 Michigan. You've got number 7 Indiana going to Eugene and beating number 3 Oregon. You've got Texas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's number 6 in the Red River. Texas pulls out a massive win. Utah goes to Arizona State and mollywops the number 21 team in the country. And then to round it all off, Colorado hosts Iowa State. Should have been a nice bounce-back cakewalk game, and they lose by a touchdown, getting upset.
I don't know. You're going to call me crazy maybe, but I don't think any of those were like crazy surprising. USC, I think they're a solid team. Like I said earlier, I give a lot of respect to teams playing at home. It's tough to play in college environments too. USC, Michigan's a good team. I like Michigan. I know that I wasn't a Bryce Underwood truster early in the season, but
fair.
I'm on the train now, and they're a tough team. But USC's a solid team too. They could be a team that might jump up and play in the playoff.
If I'll tell you this much about USC, if they play like that week in and week out, they're going to be playing in the playoff.
Yeah, unstoppable. I think the most surprising on that list would probably be the Texas-Oklahoma game. Little bit of a neutral site there, so I expected to see Oklahoma play a little bit better than they did. Obviously, John Mateer probably not 100% healthy, which could have played a factor in it. But I mean, Texas defense, Oklahoma didn't even score a touchdown. So that was a little bit surprising to see, especially from the Longhorns games previously this season. That was one that I was not expecting. But the other ones that you listed, not as surprising to me. Got Jeff Sims starting quarterback for Arizona State.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect a whole lot there.
And there were rumors that Leavitt was going to be good to go with Tyson. And then it seemed like all of a sudden the day before things shifted in a hurry.
Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me at all. When you got quarterback controversy a few hours before the game starts, you don't really know who's playing. Utah's a solid team as well, so that one didn't surprise me at all. It did surprise me how badly they lost to them, but not that they lost at all. Then I feel like it's tough to go in and play in Colorado too, and Iowa State. They didn't play like typical Iowa State.
Yeah, it was chaotic. I'm not super surprised. The Oklahoma one did surprise me out of all of them. When I heard Mateer was ready to go, all I could think was, is he healthy enough?
Is he really ready to go, or he's ready to go
It's
because
Texas.
doctors said, yeah.
Right. That's why he was ready to go, because it was Texas, and that hurt him. He threw 3 picks. Well, you just had surgery and you're throwing thumb. It makes sense why you threw 3 picks.
Yeah, probably. And I thought the backup looked great the week that they had him play. And I mean, sure, it's Texas. At least you want to go out there with someone that is 100% healthy and going to give you the best shot at winning.
Yep, and I think
So,
Mateer might sit next week just to continue to heal, and then be back. I have no doubt he'll play again this year. But if that's the level of play you're getting out of him at 70%, unfortunately, you have to go to the backup.
Yeah, you don't want him.
So, in terms of movement, Indiana's all the way up to 3. They moved 4 spots. Bama up to 6, who's playing really good football. Texas Tech, I think, is a sneaky front runner to make a deep run in the playoff. They're all the way up to 7. And then Notre Dame, after 2 quality losses to start, they find themselves back at 13. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be – I love that there is not a clear cut, in my opinion, number one. Or we don't have a great look at the playoff in general, and I love that.
Right.
Because there's so much football left. But if you had to say the true number one, who's the number one team in the country right now? I know Ohio State's got the number one, but in your opinion, who is the true number one best college football team out there? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
You do?
I have a feeling.
I think that's tough for me because I can see 3. I feel like I have 3 teams that I think are clear-cut number one. I do think Ohio State is a buzzsaw. Their defense is incredible, and their offense is also really good. Like, Ohio State's a team that I would not want to go play ever at a chance in the college football
unless you're Michigan.
Team. Yep, I agree. Yeah, and they don't beat Michigan. I feel like Ohio State's a tough team. I like Indiana. Indiana is going to be probably my Natty Championship pick. They were to start this year.
Whoa! Hold on, you ain't just gonna slide. You just
number
made
one
claim that they're winning the Natty.
I think they're number one in my eyes. I think they could win the Natty. This could be their year. And then my third one, if Baron Morton is not hurt, I feel like Texas Tech, like you said earlier, is also a little bit of a buzzsaw. Dickey, their running back, watching him, I mean, obviously Kansas defense, not great, but watching him rush for 240 yards on Saturday and watching that defense, they look good. If Baron Morton's not hurt, I could see Texas Tech going undefeated into the college football playoff too. So
I like that. All right.
Ole Miss scares me a little bit, especially after them barely beating Wazoo. They were supposed to win by 45 or more points, and they didn't look very good.
They're fighting injury right now. They got hit by the injury bug pretty bad.
I'm not a Carson Beck believer. I think Miami's a little overrated up there. I think if they were to play a team like Ohio State or Indiana, they would feel a little bit of the wrath of Big Ten football and not play very well. I like Texas A&M as well. Alabama looks good, like you said. Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams.
If you got to pick 2 teams to play in the final, Indiana's clearly one of them. Who are they playing, in your opinion?
I have Indiana, and then they are playing probably Georgia.
Wow, okay. You like how the Dogs have been settling in.
They look good. It feels like they're always just kind of a team that, they're going to be in the college football playoff if they only lose 1 or 2 games, and Kirby Smart's going to get them going, and they're going to win a couple games in the college football playoff.
They are, in my opinion, the second best coach team in football right now.
After?
The Oregon Ducks. Dan Lanning, in my opinion, I've said it before, I will continue to say it, Dan Lanning, in my opinion, is the best football coach in the country, possibly at any level of football.
I got a special place in my heart for Dan Lanning. I think I've told you this before, but he's from Parkville, from where I'm from, was actually the PE coach at my elementary school. So he was my sister's PE coach and lived in our neighborhood that my parents lived in. So a lot of people from my hometown and Kansas City area love seeing Dan Lanning do good and love seeing Oregon Ducks do good. I still like Oregon. Don't get me wrong. I think they're a solid team too, and they could be up there, but they just ran into a buzzsaw. I think Indiana's just absolute buzzsaw. You don't want to play them.
When they play again in the Big Ten Championship or in the playoff, either one, it's going to be fireworks. I can't wait.
Electric, yeah.
Okay.
Who's your team for the Natty Championship then?
Right now, as it sits, I think Ohio State's making it. I think they're just gonna do it. I like Texas Tech a lot. I just don't know if they're going to have the legs. I have recently jumped onto a wagon in which I fear there may be no return, and that they're going to play Notre Dame again in the national championship.
Really?
I think we're getting a match. I think we're going to get a rematch again.
Okay.
Bold take. Fun. Don't quote me. I like Oregon a lot too. I think it certainly could be Oregon, but there's something looming in the back of my head that Notre Dame, that there's something there.
Okay.
So, all right. I like those picks.
Mine, my don't quote me. You asked for my dark horse too. This is a flyer. Georgia Tech.
There's been a lot of love on Georgia Tech on this podcast. Isaiah and I raised them last week. Busby just brought that up too, that he's loving them.
Yeah. I've always liked Georgia Tech, like for the last 2-3 years with Jamal Haynes and Haynes King. They're just like so fun to watch play offense.
The Rambling Wreck, baby.
I like them, and then we talked a little bit earlier with the upset. I feel like if USC plays football like that, like they have been the last couple of weeks, they could make a little bit of deep run too. It sucks that they're in the Big Ten now, and they got to go through either Ohio State or Indiana or Oregon. That's going to be tough. You're probably going to have to be a one-loss team, and if you lose the Big Ten championship game, you're going to get in. But I don't know. Big Ten, those are going to be tough, but I could see them sneaking in too.
Okay. I like your natty picks. I do. Indiana's a hot little take. I like that. So
I like Indiana.
With that being said, this year's Heisman race, there is no clear-cut front runner in my opinion right now. It is week by week who is the favorite. Give me your favorite. Give me your dark horse for the Heisman.
I think kind of going based off the teams that I like to win the Natty Championship. I think I looked today. It was like Mendoza, Beck, and Ty Simpson were maybe kind of all floating around like 3-1. Like you said, no. I feel like at this point in the season, you usually got a guy that's minus odds to win or is the clear-cut favorite. But like you said, it's not really up there. If Indiana keeps that season going, Mendoza, I can see him getting it. I can see Ty Simpson with the way Alabama's playing football doing it as well. I feel like before Morton got hurt on Saturday, I'm not sure the extent of his injury, but I think he's sitting at like 20-1 right now too. I could see if Texas Tech keeps playing the way they're playing, I can see that him being up in the Heisman candidates. And then I don't know, dark horse.
Give me a non-quarterback for your dark horse. Tough, I know.
Jeremiah Smith maybe, or I mean, I like if Georgia Tech keeps winning too, maybe you get like Haynes King up there too.
All right.
Or Jamal Haynes.
Either one. I think they both could be in the conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. So, and I've said it already today, but Dante Moore, I'm still in the Dante Moore camp. I think he is going to be the number one quarterback next year's draft class if he chooses to come out. The kid is a pro talent. I was excited to see Mendoza step to his level and watch two pro-level quarterbacks go at it.
Yep.
So
that's your top pick still?
Yeah.
He's still – Oregon might not lose the rest of the season too.
I don't think they are. I think we're going to be talking about them deep in the playoffs too.
We're going to be talking about Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. Who's gonna be the Big Ten dogs? Who is going to come out of the Big Ten?
Big Ten reigns supreme right now.
It's really, you don't know. I mean, you see, there's a lot of SEC teams in this top 25 too, but I feel like there's less disparity in these Big Ten teams that, anyone could go out there and beat someone's ass.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that's college football. I know you're a listener of the pod, so we do our shout-outs. So what's a shout-out? It doesn't have to be anything sports-related. It can be literally anything, but shout something out for us. Let us know about something.
Man, shout something out. I'm gonna shout out Aaron Ashby on the Milwaukee Brewers relief pitcher from Kansas City, Park Hill High School. Got my mom text me and family being like, "You watching Brewers game? You see Ashby on TV," because got a lot of fans in Kansas City hoping that the Brewers make it far, and got a couple of friends that are friends with his family as well, and so it's fun to see. It's always fun to see people from your hometown making it big and watching them on TV. And when you're like same age as them, you're like, I went to high school, went to elementary school with that kid, and now he's about to pitch against Shohei Ohtani in a baseball game.
And then you're like, what am I doing with my life?
I'm like, what am I doing?
Sitting here talking sports on a
sitting here talking sports on a Monday. Shout out the bank holiday as well for having this day off too.
All right, man. Well, hey, I wanted to say
what's your shout out?
Me, I didn't have a great one this week. I will shout out ramen noodles. I've been doing a lot of editing as of late, and it's 11 o'clock at night. You get that little grumble. You're like, I could eat something. I should. You know what? Let me just make a pot of noodle real quick. So I'm gonna shout out.
Are you a spice guy? What are you putting on the ramen noodles?
Oh yeah, I church up my ramen. I don't church it up necessarily by adding ingredients, but I will add seasoning. I've got the slap your mama, it's a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, a little pepper, maybe a little drop of dark soy in there. I haven't put any rice wine or anything like that in there. I would like to give that a go. Not something I keep in the house regularly. But no, I'm not just dumping the seasoning packet and calling that noodles.
Right.
I got to church it.
I had to check.
Are
you like fry an egg, throw an egg on my ramen noodles type of guy, or we're just strictly ramen spices?
Personally, for me at home, no. But I will go get ramen, and yes, I will love a nice egg in there. But no, not at home. Right. I'm not. Right. I'm nice in the kitchen. At 11 o'clock at night, in the middle of editing, I shouldn't be trusted with an egg. Be honest with you.
Your ramen is my I'm a big mac and cheese, like Annie's mac, Goodle's mac and cheese. Can't go wrong. I could probably eat 3 or 4 boxes in a sitting. And
I figure that one package of ramen noodles is probably better than me eating a whole sleeve of Chips Ahoy at 11 o'clock at night.
Absolutely.
So, well, Matt, I want to say thank you for jumping on. Thanks for being a guest on our pod. Finally got you on. I doubt this is the last time our viewers see your face. I'm sure we will have you on. Hopefully with Isaiah next time. Shout out to being frat bros with one of our co-hosts.
Yep. Shout out Fiji.
Yeah, shout out Fiji, I guess. But guys, that is the episode. That is episode 27. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, comment, interact. Show us a little love. We're having a lot of fun doing this. We appreciate all the comments and the love from everybody. Hey, we even appreciate people talking shit behind our back on this. Hey, we're fueled by haters, baby.
Subscribe, like, follow. Please. Thank you for having me on. It was awesome.
I love
having you on. Fun to talk sports, fun to talk shop.
Yeah, and
happy to do it again.
The fun part is we're 2 blocks away from each other doing this.
Yeah, I think when that train was going off earlier, I could hear the train in your microphone and also my microphone.
So
yeah. Oh, there you are, right over there.
Hey, look at that. Spitting distance, baby. Well, that's it for us. We'll have our segments out the rest of the week. New episode will drop next Tuesday. Should be a great weekend of sporting. I finally have a weekend off from work. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Peace.